So I was telling, welcome back to Avernus, by the way. We're live now. I was telling the assembled beard group that I was feeling unprepared for this session, and I actually had like nerves for the first time in a long time in running any of these D&D shows. Like I was feeling nervous before talking about Putin. I'm going to say Poutine because it just reminds me of Overlord Putin.
And instantly got demonetized.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a food thing. Thanks, YouTube. But we're here in Avernus, and I added a nice little marker there because there's plenty of X's where we've been previously. I should probably start removing some of them. In that it says, "We are here," smiley face.
Helpful. I like it.
Love that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Anyone want to do a little bit of a recap, or should I?
2 sentences. Hilarious. I died, and we bought a car because we lost the car in the same episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and more importantly than John, Barnabas died.
That's true.
But I've stolen his faceplate to use
We
for
do have a
my
bit of his face. Yeah.
misadventures in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on our way to the Demon's Effort.
And we have about a gallon of blood, of Titan blood, which we're going to get Kat's soul back, but she's not here today.
So
Yeah, she is. She's right there. She
Oh,
just
there
sounds
she is.
more Scottish.
Oh no. Yes, Craig will be playing Kat today, and V. Should we?
Well, I'll be playing V. I'm not playing Cat.
Oh, okay. Sure. You'll be playing V today. Yeah, we're here. We're in Avernus. You are still in the Wandering Emporium, as it were, finalizing the deal here. And again, she's not here to make the decision on what item she gets in trade for the Dragon Orb.
But this guy is.
But I guess Craig is going to do that. So I don't know what else to say about this. We tried to make it work the best we could, everyone at home. Scheduling is a bitch. I blame John.
All right.
The thing is,
We
when I
get
blame
into this right now.
when I blame John, he's like, it's Connor who wants the original reschedule, and he is right. Like
that is true. But
Anyway.
that's
All right.
I'm just on the John blaming bandwagon here. It feels good. It feels good.
It does, doesn't
Honestly,
it?
it feels good. So, yeah, we will find ourselves, as I adjust our music here to bring us back into the Wandering Emporium. It's selection time, I suppose. We've signed this contract here to hand over the Orb of Dragonkind to Mahadi in exchange for one rather large war machine and a magical item to be detailed out, in which I needed to make a selection because it was at the end of the show there, and I was feeling quite generous in what things I would be giving away. So that being said, we find ourselves still in the tent there, talking to Mahadi. So he would bring out 2 items for selection here and place them out onto his desk. One is a crystalline blue shield, and he places it down and says, "This here has been fashioned from a sapphire dragon's scale. It has the ability to root out aberrations and also some additional resistance factors. Quite useful in the defense of your own body." And then he places out an amulet. This here is a little bit more common of a magical item, but I think might prove useful in your future. V. This is an amulet that hides you from divination magic. You may select one of these.
Will we get the full
no.
card for it?
Absolutely not.
If only we'd seen a sapphire buckler before. I suppose someone may be divining against us, but we wouldn't really know.
For my reference, Joel, is the lightning launcher a one-handed weapon?
It is.
It is, right?
Yeah, we used to have a shield, remember?
Yeah, that's what I was just checking.
Talkie shield.
I'm one of the people in the background on The Price is Right. Shield!
Take their shield!
I was just trying to think, is there any reason V will pick the shield.
He nods as if he knew what the selection was going to be. He says, you know, sometimes you try to help, but all right. He snaps his fingers, and written into the text of your contract is the sapphire buckler. And he hands it over to V. A shield for a shield. I appreciate that. Now, the orb. He waits for V to hand over the orb.
V hands over the orb.
All right. Without argument. That's surprising.
Well,
she goes on a 5-minute tirade about how everyone has sold their souls and acted selfishly.
And she's not wrong. And he goes, right. And I shall have your machine brought out. It will be a demon grinder similar to the one you had previous, capable of housing all of you fully. One of our newest. So do please take care of her and not lose her.
Well, it's ours now. We can use her if we want.
Yes, but, you know, she was a personal... It was my right, but that's fine.
Oh.
And he snaps his fingers again. An imp comes out, rolls up the scroll, and disappears in invisibility, flying out of the tent, taking the contract with them. He goes, is there anything else that I can assist you with on this fine Avernus day?
I'm dealed out myself, so...
Not a deal, just a general question. I know we're in the Emporium. Could you at least point us in the right direction of the Demon Zapper? I know we're somewhere close. We're on our way there, and I know things shift around down here.
Right, of course. I believe the Demon Zapper still resides somewhere north and west of here. If you find a great lake of demon blood, you're going the right direction. Just head past it and towards the center there, and you should be able to find it relatively easily.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, you may make your stay here in one of these spare tents if you'd like, or the demon grinder is yours on your way out.
I mean, I don't know about everyone. I'm happy just to head out. I don't really want to get things over with.
I'm quite happy.
Yeah, El Terrell's real close to the ground. Let's deal with that post haste.
Of course. Pleasure doing business with you again. And good luck. And you'll be escorted out of the tent and back into the Emporium proper here. You can make your way out. The the grinder is brought around front for you, and left, still running, at the front of the Emporium. Pile it on in.
Yeah,
Man,
I'll clamber in.
This is a nice looking rig.
Yeah, it looks like how yours used to look. Rather pristine fashion there. Kind enough, it seems that they've left at least one soul coin, burning the soul inside of it there, for you to utilize as fuel. And you can head out towards the Demon Zapper. Francis, are you taking control of driving this one as well? Since you're well practiced in that regard.
If nobody minds, or wants to, or has the inclination to do so, I assume I will just be once again driving.
I mean, he is the captain.
I did want to.
Is the captain.
Yes.
Sure. All right. And we start making our way towards the Demon Zapper. I would love a little survival check. This could be a group check. I'm looking for a number here on average. So go ahead and have everyone roll it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
The second one is for V.
Okay. Oh.
Now one.
Wow.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Prescott should not be the highest roll there.
Trescott with a 13, and the rest of these are below a 10, and there are 2 natural ones.
Yarp.
So we're looking real good, Beard Crew. Well done. You start heading north and west. And I think what becomes the most obvious thing is, yes, there's a great lake of black demon blood that burbles on the surface of Avernus here, and you've had run-ins with this stuff before. Now, following the directions of Mahadi and trying to skirt your way around the edge of the lake and maybe find a way towards the interior, you drive for quite some time and realize that there does not seem to be a break in the black blood on the surface. What would you like to do?
So is there no way to sort of skirt the edges of it? We kind of just...
You skirt the edge for 2 hours, unable to find a way in. Either the lake has grown larger or changed shape in your absence.
Well, I guess I'll drive a bit slower through this, you know, but I think the worst thing would be if we get stuck in the demonic blood mud. So...
Okay. So, you start driving through the demonic blood mud, having no idea how deep, how far, or how long you'll be inside of it. I would love a captain's check here. So for this, you need to pilot it. So it's going to be a dex check on Francis's part.
Okay. There we go. Not one, Joel.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
As you slowly churn your way through the deep black demon mud, you do realize the worst has happened. You're stuck. The demon grinder does not push forward. It sits roughly halfway deep in the blood.
Great job, Francis.
Thanks. I don't really know how to get out of this. Trescott, you seem like you might come from a perilous environment. Do you know what the trick is for getting out of a muddy situation like this? Do you go hard on the throttle or a little bit, or?
I've always rocked back and forth, but I think I don't really want to step in the demon goo. Everything in Avernus hurts you, it seems. There is the option of putting demon blood in the engine, right? Maybe we can give it a pop out of here, like, you know, really give it a push.
Yes, that did work. You're right. Yeah, so if we pour some of this in, it may suffice to free us.
Or I could possibly try, if we could jimmy it the right way, use the rod as a kind of a leverage piece, you know, press the button, make it really, really long, trying to pop it, kind of wheel or something out of the... I don't know. I'm running at options.
It may be difficult without getting into the blood ourselves, that one.
Why
don't you use the rod to scoop up some of the blood and dump it in the engine?
I can do that. Is that our decision? Are we going to try to...
I've got like 8 spells I could do it with. I just thought you'd find it more satisfying to have it go yourself.
I have 8 spells I could do this with.
Why don't I just try this rocking back and forth motion that Trescott has given us? So I'll go forward for a bit and then put it in reverse and forward and then reverse.
You do create some ripples here, and realizing that little slit that you look out of is rather close to where the demon blood rises on your machine right now. You realize you're creating some waves, and it seems to be getting dangerously close to rolling itself into the machine.
I will cease doing that. Well, I guess next step is the demon blood. So Trescott, do you want to rod some in?
Well, it seems like Hugo had his own decisions. He's magical in nature.
I will briefly summon Mage Hand, thumbs up Trescott, and dismiss it.
Gross.
Fancy.
Yeah, I mean, if Hugo's not gonna do it,
I could do it if you want. I just, I thought you might like getting
mean,
some use
yeah,
of the rod you
I
set
just don't
yourself
want to
for.
hurt the rod. It's my
That's
problem.
a good point. Okay,
I
fine.
want to
shall.
do fast.
I can do it then. I'll resummon my mage hand, and it can carry up to 10 pounds. I assume that's more than enough to just like scoop a bit in the palm of it.
So, I mean, there will be a risk, as you've, probably at home placed water in the palm of your hand before, right? It does have a tendency to run out of the hand or through the fingers or something like that. So there is a
Can I
risk
give it
here
a
of
poke and see how
spillage.
like thick and viscous this is? Because if it was water, I assume we would have just splashed straight into it.
So yeah, I mean, you with the mage hand, I assume you're
Yeah,
poking
of
it.
course.
Right.
I'm leaning
I just,
back.
as I pull up my D100 chart of shit that happens when you touch this stuff, you poke at it, and yes, it is a little bit more viscous. It is blood, and demon blood runs a little bit thicker than like your general run-of-the-mill human blood, but it does still have like a flowing motion, right there. Francis was able to create ripples and waves by trying to shimmy the machine back and forth, so it still has fluid properties here.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a tendency of it like running, could possibly run off. The hand
I'll
here.
try to do that. I'm not gonna like dunk my entire hand in. I would carefully like get a small portion in the palm of my hand, kind of thing. But,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I'd go for that.
All right, I want you to roll. This is going to be because you are controlling the mage hand here. This
Sure.
would be a check with your spellcasting ability, which I believe is intelligence.
Okey-dokey.
Something good. Not a nat one.
We've rolled a lot of nat ones
It's not
already
been good
today.
so far.
17.
17 is good. Yeah. You're able to get like a little scoop out here in the mage hand and keep it steady enough that like it only drips occasionally. Fortunately, you're rather skilled in maneuvering the hand, so as the drips like fall onto the top of the demon grinder, and then like you maneuver it into the hatch once again, right, full of this demon blood. You're able to keep it away from your friends, so you can maybe mop it up later without touching it, right?
Other hand is prestidigitationing it off
Yeah,
the
as we continue to go, absolutely. And you are able to bring the hand towards the blue glowing furnace here of the machine.
Now I know this is a little hard on the
Already.
machine, V, but let's try to get out of here.
But if everybody's holding on to something, I'll use my other hand to like grasp. a part
Yeah,
of
get the
demon
oh shit
grinder
handle
inside.
and
Yeah, I'll just dump the hand in the
And
engine.
Francis, whatever you do, gun it.
Wait, not. Are you sure? Okay, you're the man in the know, Trescott. I'll trust you on this.
5 intelligence. Let's go.
Okay. So from this, as you dump the demon fuel into the machine here, it flares, right? We've seen this before. The soul force here just flares up. And I would love, as you gun it, Francis,
That's what Trescott's told me. So
roll me
I'm pedal to the metal.
strength at advantage from the demon grinder itself.
I've got. That's the one sheet I don't have open, Joel. Bear with me. Strength. Okay, so with advantage. So
That is a 20 there.
Sorry,
so you'll
my
take the
bad.
first 2 rolls. It'll take the 20 there, and and it lurches forward. And the demon blood goes up the front surface here of the grinder as it pushes forward and splashes through the front of your like little tank slit that you look through here. Francis, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
oh gosh,
A
that's a
24.
dex check. Sorry.
It's okay. Whatever your dex bonus is going to be plenty here. As you're able to move to the side as it does splash through and onto the ground inside the demon grinder here. Fortunately, I think Hugo can prestidigitate the rest of this off as you're able to avoid the mutating properties of the demon ichor. You now have the machine steadily moving through. It's like watching any of those videos of people in trucks that try to drive through flooded waters. Fortunately, you don't really have an exhaust on this thing. It is just powered through the, through a soul being sacrificed. So that's cool.
Don't think about it. It's fine.
Yeah, the Demon Ichor having revved the engine high enough here, it pushes through the large lake. Again, I think fortunately it never gets deep enough to like cover the entire surface of your demon grinder or get back up to that spot where the viewport is, and you're able to eventually see through your little tank slit there the demon zapper kind of glowing off into the distance and push it that direction. Now, the demon blood here and its boost lasts a minute. So I want you to make me a piloting check here.
So
And
what
we
would
all
you
used to laugh at land vehicles, eh?
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. If we had taken the land vehicles proficiency at some point, I will allow you to make a choice here, because this is going to be survival, perception, or just your raw dexterous ability in being able to avoid essentially getting stuck again.
Okay. Well, my perception is the highest of those, so I will use perception here.
Okay.
Joel.
So you're trying to perceive the best way forward here. At a 17, you're able to do so. It seems that you find what we would call like a bit of a sandbar in the midst of this demon blood lake, and you're able to get the machine up and out a little bit here, and it seems that it's got a bit of a straightaway towards the demon zapper. Only about 15 to 20 minutes pass, and you are able to arrive back at the demon zapper, not getting stuck again, where you find that the radiant light cascades down from that rusted monument shaped like the upraised mandibles of a giant beetle. Again, recognizing that there is a unicorn trapped inside that particular contraption. Now, as a reminder, you would remember this as characters in this game. The sphere will target any nearest fiend and eviscerate it. So just keep that in mind should you have any fiendish tendencies, or maybe be carrying a fiend in a pocket or something like that.
Are you wanting to stay in the car, Trescott?
I'm not a fiend. I'm still human, Francis. I think.
All right.
And I haven't come around to reanimating this fella, and I'll sort of clink Barnabas in my robe pocket.
Yeah.
So we should be fine unless anybody's harboring any little nasties.
I don't feel like we're there.
The bell? We still have.
Well, he's sealed inside the bell, right? So I mean, I had it last time and I didn't
What
get
about
out.
that fellow?
I still have it.
We should get him out sometime.
I really don't think. I am very opposed to that. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
the
Baldur
safe
can stay
environment.
inside.
Okay. So, exiting the vehicle here, back at the foot of the demon zapper, Rolzala will reveal himself to you, the Tao, once again. Go ahead and bring up their picture once more as well.
We have brought the Titan's blood.
Ah, that is good. He was willing to give it away, Uldrak.
No, we had to go on one quest that led to another, and so on and so forth, until eventually we traced it back to here, to you, so...
Ah, well, it is good that you made it back. The demons have gained quite a large foothold here on Avernus in attempting to their battle at Elturel. The Zapper has been quite busy. I'm impressed that you were able to make it through here. Please, the blood.
I believe you have a whole bloody cauldron of it. How much did you want?
I should only need a few drops.
Okay. I guess I'll just get... Is there like a loose cup or something like that?
You need the hand again, Franz.
A loose cup. I mean, each of you would have like your like travel pack, right? You'd have your own
All right,
little.
I'll
tin
go
cups.
back to the demon grinder by myself and use Trescott's cup.
Okay, yeah, you grab
Wow.
Trescott's
Ow.
cup off his pack.
It's like using Trescott's toothbrush to clean my shoes. And
Yes.
Stuff like
Oh God.
You think Trescott has a toothbrush?
Yeah. So you come back with a cup, and how was the blood collected?
Well, gingerly, I guess. Just, you know, like filling up a...
I think
a
V
glass
put it in a
from-
vial.
Yeah, it's in a vial.
Oh,
Yeah.
A vial in a cup. There
You
you
just
go.
like put the vial in the cup, hand it over.
okay. Well, I get, because I remember Joel describing it as we had a bucket of this stuff. So
Oh, I mean, Uldrak poured like gallons of this
I
stuff.
can't remember exactly how. So V has a vial. I would just take the vial then, not the
Yeah.
cup.
That's fun. You're playing V, so I thought it was funny. But okay. So yes, you give the vial over. And Ralzala will take it and pours it into their hands, rubs it together here, and then over their chest, and then just sighs as if a weight has been lifted off of them. And they look at you. Thank you. The debt is paid, and I appreciate it. Are you still seeking the help of Bel in the overthrow of Zariel?
I believe so.
We want any help that we can get.
Or any help, yes. I'd rather not deal with a pit fiend, to be completely honest, but...
So just
Needs
to
must.
remember, you were keeping her in there, right? And I point to the unicorn.
Oh, no, that is... I did not put her there. That is, Zariel is doing. I swore loyalty to Zariel to gain revenge from a rival that attempted to ruin me, and ended up regretting the arrangement because I was not allowed to leave the side of the demon zapper as its guardian. Fortunately, the blood of the Titan can kind of break that pact, that promise.
You wouldn't happen to have any idea on how to free the unicorn, would you? Or the...
Oh, destruction, maybe, of the demon zapper itself, I suppose. I would not suggest punching the orb that traps the unicorn, but maybe, the rusted pieces of metal around it that are not obviously charged with radiant energy that will eviscerate any being that should interface with it.
Noted.
I don't know if I'm physically strong enough for that, especially since we just walked through Avernus for several hours, and I'm exhausted. I would assume that you're not exactly the biggest fan of Zariel, and it would be awesome if you could hit the things with your cool big hammer. Maybe?
I suppose I could do that, but I've already made a promise to take you to Bel and a letter of introduction and all of these things. I do not care whether or not the Demon Zapper exists or dies. Though, to be fair, if the Demon Zapper is destroyed, the demons will gain quite a true foothold here on Avernus.
Would that maybe, I don't know, play against Zariel at all, or play into her hands?
Hey, she is the executor of the blood war on the side of the devils, so I assume that she would be rather perturbed at the loss of such a powerful weapon.
Quite upset, you would say.
She will already be upset that I am no longer in her service, but should we execute this overthrow by getting in contact with Bel, maybe it won't matter.
I'm really quite neutral on the subject of this demon zapper. I understand his benefit by destroying the demons, but if it hampers Ariel, there's a benefit there. So I don't really have it.
Well, if this, I mean, clearly very powerful Dao were on our side, the other side is maybe Rosala. What about them? And I'll gesture up at the unicorn in the demon zapper. Were we to free them, would they be a powerful ally? They are powering this incredible machine.
Oh, if you are able to convince it, I suppose so. It's not very talkative being encased in that blue crystal energy, They are a unicorn, likely mostly goodly in nature. Perhaps they could be convinced to assist you. Now, for me...
Do you know how we'd break the zapper?
Again, I think if you just smash the rusty bits around here, it probably will disrupt most of the magic.
Good at smashing.
We do have a pretty siege-heavy vehicle. I remember hitting a few things with the wrecking ball. Seemed to do a lot of damage.
Our camera zooms in on the wrecking ball strapped to the back of your vehicle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good.
So should we just do it then? See what happens? Probably not gonna be anything bad, right?
Soon
It's
was.
not my plane. Well. Yeah, I mean, we can give it a go. What's the hurt? It hurts Zariel.
Well, we could be overrun by demons,
Demons.
before we get there, but if worst comes to worst, I'm sure we'll get away.
I don't want to see the unicorn trapped here.
Yes, I think they're meant to be quite virtuous creatures. I that's why I'm asking. I agree. I think we should free it.
All right, I
What
guess.
I recall of our conversation before I did a dumb, it was very keen on getting out of the thing.
yeah, absolutely.
After
I
creature,
assume
want to get
it
out?
would be-
No.
I assume it would be very appreciative.
Yeah, probably.
Well, if we're overrun by demons, gentlemen, it's been fun. Envy, you as well.
Well, I guess I'll drive and you can man the wrecking
Smash.
ball.
Man your own jackhammer.
Yeah.
That's a reference.
What I would like is like you guys basically just back, the vehicle up
Yeah,
to where you
you
can
know.
get a good swing with the wrecking ball here. Rosala could have just stand to the side and to watch this madness. Roll me some wrecking ball, Trescott, since you are so very practiced in its regard. That is a 27 to hit.
92 damage.
And
If it's an object.
it deals 92 damage, and a huge chunk of this rusted piece of metal goes crashing off of it here, and the Demon Zapper kind of leans over to the side. You've definitely dealt it a hefty blow. Give me another one as you bring the wrecking ball back around.
Right as I'm about to attack, I just say, get ready, everyone, in case all hells break loose. Ha-ha! And I'll hit it with another
Absolute shame.
Yeah.
72 damage.
Another 72 points of damage. And as you crash through basically the other side of these giant, beetle-like mandibles that come crawling out of the ground here, the magic that holds that orb to the top is broken. And it comes crashing down. And it seems to function less like crystal and more like glass as it shatters into the Avernus landscape here below. The unicorn lying on the ground amidst the shards of the former trapping crystal.
I would run up to the unicorn. And I get to speak Wait, I don't remember if it speaks common. I don't care. I'm speaking Celestial, damn it.
Okay.
Are you okay?
And it seems like a little, groggy, if anything, as it's come crashing down here. But it kind of rolls its eyes around and sits up a little bit onto its hooves and speaks to you in Celestial. Yes. Yes, I'm okay. I never expected to be free of that prison. Thank you.
I couldn't sit by and watch essentially my kin go through that. This place sucks. I hate it. I want to save the people, and then I want to leave and never come back.
I understand. And it shakily gets to its hooves and legs here and looks about the group, and it talks to you telepathically here, and it will speak in whatever your native tongue is how you would understand it. Thank you. I appreciate you freeing me. Looks over at the Tao. My captor, it seems that you've had a change of heart and things, and I appreciate you coming around. Rosala just speaks aloud here. I am free of Zariel's pact here, so I do not rightly care what happens to you anymore. My new friends, my name is Mooncolor.
Nice.
That is a unicorn name.
I love that name.
Right? It's very unicorn. Who do I owe my thanks to?
Yo,
Technically, all of us.
Your names, my friends. I wish to know your names.
my name is Trescott.
I'm Francis.
I'm Hugo.
Trescott, he looks at you and goes, oh. And then looks over at Francis and goes, oh. And then sees
Cyrus.
V's demonic arm. Oh. And then, you know, taking into account Cyrus's blasted up bodies. Just, you all seem rather kind.
Each of us have been touched by Avernus in various ways. We're still, in my opinion, my hope, good at heart. Says Trescott.
The unicorn looks at you. There is one way to find out.
Maybe not on Trescott though. He's having a.
He's
dealing with
feeling a
things from his-
little unwell at the moment. We don't want to push him.
I understand. Well, I appreciate your assistance here. What is your plan on the plane? Are you returning back to the prime material anytime
We
soon?
want to save El Terrell, actually. It's being... I'm not sure if you could see it from up there, but it's being dragged down.
Unfortunately, my sight was rather limited to enemies, as my power was drawn from me to blast them from existence. El Terrell, the city, from the plane.
Yes.
You're saying it's here?
It's touching the
I'll
river Styx.
gesture to the sky where you can see it.
Yeah,
being
like
dragged.
being dragged down and... Oh,
Have a look for yourself. There it is.
what is the plan to save these people?
Overthrow Zariel?
What would that do?
We aren't really sure. In fact, I don't even know, and I've seen a few kinds, what kind of magic is being used to drag them down, or if it's magic at all. But we're hoping that at least Zariel can illuminate what's going on, and maybe we can convince them to stop.
This is old history in our show here, but you do know why and how El Terrell came to be here. Just as a note, every citizen of El Terrell had to sign essentially what they were unknowingly signing as a pact in promising their souls to Zariel and Avernus under the guise of promising their loyalty to El Terrell and its defense.
Oh yeah, with that corrupt lord, I forgot his name.
Yup.
But yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
forever ago.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
Hugo did specifically mean he didn't know how the practicality of Eltrell literally being dragged down is happening.
right. Yeah. Okay.
They're big chains.
Yeah. Big chains.
I'm not a chainomancer, so...
Moon colors. Well, as thanks, I would like to assist you in whatever way I can. Though my ultimate goal would be to return home to the forest.
This is your home, I assume a different realm than here.
Oh, it's Faerun and the Moonwood.
Yes. Very nice. How do you think you could help us?
Well, kind of like looks over at the now wrecked demon zapper. My powers are formidable in nature, and I do have quite the healing ability should it come down to it. And, well, the horn is not just for show. It's quite the weapon on its own.
I'm sure it is.
You
What-
mentioned healing ability.
Indeed.
Oh, didn't think of that.
We have a celestial friend who has been dead for a couple days.
Unfortunately, my magic is limited to those that are sick or injured. Death is not a thing that I can heal.
Curses. I look at V and just like,
Worth a try.
Do you know
Yeah.
of the plane? I mean, how long have you been here? How long were you up there?
I think Mooncolor just looks at Ralzala. I have no memory of how long I've been trapped here. Ralzala shrugs. I was conscripted by Zariel some... Well, it is hard to count time in Avernus, but it feels quite some time. Zariel came into power some... What? 150 of your years ago? Something along those lines.
And Mooncolor, did you see any of the plane before you were captured?
Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately not, my capture was on Faerun and not here.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Indeed.
We would love your aid in any form. Please, we keep losing allies left and right, and any ally we can have would be great against the...
I feel like that should cause me some concern, but there would be no better use of my life than saving those that are in need.
There is one minor caveat that you might not enjoy.
What is that?
As you can see, many, if not all of us, have had some issues here, and we at the end of the day, we want to save El Terrell, and we might end up getting the help of a devil.
You look to the aid of devils to overthrow another devil, and yet you wonder what the end result will be.
We haven't met the other one yet. I'm just gonna turn to Rosaria. Like,
Rosala will shrug and go, I mean, Mooncolor here does a little bit have a point. It's Bell to take control of Avernus would be very happy to, but he is a devil.
We just want to save the people and then leave. At least I want to leave. I hate it here. I miss my mom and sisters.
Back when I was on the material plane, I remember legends and stories of an angel named Zariel that flew through a portal astride a golden mastodon at the head of an army to beat back the tide of fiends that plagued the land around them. Perhaps you could remind Zariel of what she once was.
Yeah, so we thought our friend might be able to do that, but she's the celestial that died.
I wonder if she still could. Yeah.
What is the direction your celestial friend had you going? Where did she wish that you...
You should see the state of our map. It's been a few places.
I think Lulu did want us to find Zariel's sword, right?
That's right, yes.
That's what she wanted.
That's why we went to Harriman's Hill. Is that where it last was? That's episodes ago.
That was 190 years ago.
Rosala will... the sword. It lies in a bleeding citadel, trapped in the scab. It is in a... some location from here. Perhaps you could revisit the hag in the bone brambles and see if you can't get its location again.
I believe it was in the yellow cloud.
The sulphurous cloud is the word
that's where
to not say.
I'm gonna look at each other. Where did you come about the information? Is it reliable?
I can't
Anything here particularly reliable?
It was Red Ruth. It was part of your deal
I know.
in defending the bone brambles in her home while she went for a bath.
God.
That she told you the location of the scab and the bleeding citadel.
I love how convoluted the story is. Or convoluted, we have made it.
So perhaps should we get the sword and then Bell's Forge, or Bell's Forge and the sword, or one or the other? Or
Well, maybe we don't need Bell, since we have moon color.
Without any offense to our friend here, I think a pit lord is several different shades of powerful to anything we've encountered, really. But that may be reason to not engage with his services. We don't want to replace one evil with a greater one.
Rosala again shrugs. It was only an idea, and you were looking for allies anywhere.
I'm not holding you accountable, Rosala. I'm just thinking out loud.
I really don't know what to do or what the best path is for us.
V is our legitimate voice of reason.
All right, Craig. Voice of reason time.
You can't put this on me.
Pick a direction and let's go, buddy. Let's do it.
V suggests that we go to the Bleeding Citadel.
Agree.
Get this
I
right.
think we should go to the Bleeding Citadel.
I think you may be best served in that regard. Rosala will nod. Bell is indeed no former angel, but a devil through and through. There would have been complication there, of course, but he would still be eager to overthrow Zariel and take the throne of the plane himself.
Well,
but I
if
think
we
this is a
do-
wise decision.
Yes. Well, can we count on you two to come with us?
Ha! No, I am free of my binds, and I will be transporting myself home for the first time in hundreds of years.
I think you're the smartest person here.
I do what I can. Mooncolor will, kind of paw at the ground here. I will accompany you. As long as there are goodly souls that I can assist in saving, it is the least I can do in thanks for your freeing me. Until then, however, perhaps I can provide us a way home should my magic fully return to me.
That would be nice.
Sounds good.
Speaking of healing, Mooncaller,
Yes.
you can see our friend here, and I point at Cyrus and how he's like half dead on the floor. Is there a way to cure this man's exhaustion? He absolutely had a wicked time through walking Avernus.
Rosala kind of shrugs. I did what I could. He was a bit of a mess after being blasted by your magical energies, lying dead upon the ground. I used what was available to me. Mooncolor.
In my
Off the
defense,
ground.
in my defense, I know that I have had experience with celestial energy and not being too terribly hurt. I also am dumb.
It is something I might be able to assist with. Let me... And she kind of comes over with like the long, horn and just touches you on the shoulder with it. Magical energy pours out from the creature and into your body, Cyrus. You would regain hit points should you have been missing any of them here. And should you have any diseases or poisons, those would be removed from your body. Unfortunately, it does not reconstitute your flesh. And Mooncolor takes a step back after dumping this energy into you here. It seems that your affliction may be beyond my abilities. You would need the assistance of a higher power.
It was
And
worth a
he's kind of
shot.
mad at me right now. So, I mean, I haven't asked, but I don't want to be a bother.
Perhaps in saving the people of Elturel, you can find your way back on the good side. It is an act of great good to save those souls at the cost of self.
It's true. I think the most important thing for me right now is to sleep.
Mooncolor swings their head over to Trescott. So this leads me to my question here. What are you doing here, and why?
I am not going to lie to you. I sold my soul. I don't know who I sold it to.
Tell them
However-
what you sold it for.
Or I sold it to try and gain the power necessary to save the people of Elturel.
Huh.
That is why I'm here. I will deal with the consequences of that after we save everyone.
Trescott, are you telling the truth?
I am telling the truth. That's exactly why I did it.
I want to know for sake
Yes.
of the unicorn and the things that they can perceive.
They can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was 100% Trescott truth right there.
And Mooncolor regards you here, big horse eyes, right? I see. I would call it noble if it wasn't so foolish. But perhaps we shall see if you made the right decision.
Only time will tell.
Now, shall we set off then? I feel as if we delay any longer, more lives are at stake.
Now, do you want to ride in the vehicle, or would you just run alongside, or fly alongside, or?
I am rather swift, but I think if you would like me fresh for any fight that comes ahead, we will find a way to make things fit.
Have we seen a horse box or anything like that we can trailer?
Is there a trailer?
Let's go back to Mahadi and grab one.
You would know, I mean, the Demon Grinder that you do have, its door opening, you have a hatch, but it also has a cargo opening as well. It's just not something that you can really do while driving, right? As you kind of move the wrecking ball out of the way, you can kind of drop this platform out for larger, cargo.
This is Mahadi's. There's got to be a secret horse compartment.
Just on the potential that maybe he might acquire a unicorn at some point in time.
Who knows, right?
Right? So it lies open there. You would be able to... It's going to be tight inside because it fits up to 8 creatures, right? Fortunately, you are missing some creatures. It's going to be a little tight, but you can fit Mooncolor in as well. Some of the operation of your... I believe the side harpoons here. The harpoon flingers. One of those stations is just unusable while Mooncolor is in the vehicle.
Well, it's a tight fit, but it should work at least to get us to the Citadel.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to do at the former site of the Demon Zapper?
Nothing for me.
Let's go.
I'm good.
Let's go do some stuff.
Let's go.
I guess I'll
do
say
some
bye to the
stuff.
Dow.
Yeah.
Cheerio.
Sure.
Have fun in your own plane. I wish I could join you.
I don't think you want to join where she's
Literally
going.
anywhere but here.
Okay. And so we set out from the former site of the Demon Zapper and head north past where the Tower of Erm used to be, skirting around the edges of the Hell Wasp nests and heading towards the great phosphorus cloud towards the north. Roughly a day would pass here during your traversal. Fortunately, in a regard that is uneventful in Avernus. But that looming phosphorus cloud, and you note the lightning inside of it, and it seems to be raining as well from this yellowish, sick-looking cloud.
What's the rain look like?
Roll me, as you do you park outside this thing and start taking a look around? Pop open the hatch, observe for a moment?
I mean, I would assume so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Roll some perception checks.
Yeah, 19.
Nicely done.
I rolled a 5. I'm still staring at the unicorn.
As you sit at the edge of the cloud radius in the storm that rages within, lightning crackling and striking the ground in rather obvious locations about, as well as it seems to be pretty random as you observe it, the rain begins to pour, and you hear it hiss and sizzle as it strikes the sandy and somewhat, lava rock structure that makes up the Avernus plain.
Yeah, I expected that.
At this point, I'd be disappointed if it wasn't acid rain.
Would somewhat tame for Avernus to have regular rain, I suppose.
Is there anything we could canopy or something? I don't know if I have any spells or abilities that would protect us. No.
No, not really. I protect myself from it, but that seems awfully selfish. No, I'm afraid not. We may just have to hunker down. But the Demon Grinder surely can deal with this sort of thing.
Can it?
Does Mooncaller have any acid protection abilities?
No, unfortunately not. Everything I have is related to healing things.
Well, let's hope let's hope V can put this thing back together once there's full of holes.
All right. So, with this, you wish to head into the storm. Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yes.
Hey, I feel like sometimes I need to ask, right? Because it's gonna get kind of painful for your Demon Grinder, and it is the responsibility of its captain to make sure that it gets to continue to exist. As you head into the storm, lightning crackles and strikes around you here. For the first portion heading in, I need a piloting check here with your dex, Francis.
Okay. Sorry, dex. There we go. 22.
Ooh, a good 22. As lightning strikes the ground just in front of you here, you're able to whip the Demon Grinder around and, avoid being struck by the lightning. The rain, though, does begin to pour. The Demon Grinder is going to take 12 points of essentially acid damage as it begins to hiss and sizzle onto your, carapace here. Unfortunately, it does not have any resistance or immunity to acid, and so this will burn into the structure of the vehicle here. While this is happening, and while Francis is driving, is anyone wanting to do anything to assist in any way? And do you have any ideas on how to help?
I guess V, being an artificer, will have a pile of scrap and hammer and nails or whatever, ready to patch a hole in the roof as soon as it appears.
Okay,
oh, yeah,
sure.
Spoons, yeah.
Keeping a lookout for any potential holes in the hull. Okay, yeah. Absolutely. That's good. Anyone else have anything they're either preparing to do or doing to assist Francis in this mad dash across the Avernus landscape?
I mean, the only thing Trescott can really do is try and keep a lookout and try and give kind of help navigate to be like, okay, giant rock ahead. Hey, Francis, giant rock ahead.
Yeah,
Trescott,
so there's
a tiny slit I can see out of. Either you can pop your head out and get hit by acid, or shut the hell up.
Well, can I not also look out the slit and help?
You sit over his shoulder and just yell things at him?
Managing to backseat drive a driver.
You can certainly do that. I don't know if Francis is going to be super helpful, but roll me a perception check. Why not?
Give it a try, Trescott. You got this. An 18!
18 isn't bad. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Cyrus or Hugo, is there anything that you want to do, like in assistance or in preparation of things?
There's not much I can do.
Sure.
I mean, realistically, I could contrive something, but realistically, there's not much I can do to help.
Okay.
Okay, so you know how in this Garbo country, companies can be treated as persons, right? Can I treat the vehicle as a creature?
No, it is not a creature. It is a vehicle.
I know, I was just being stupid. I don't think there's anything I can do.
I would like to dimension door the gargantuan vehicle here through space.
No, I was gonna give it a shield of faith.
Yeah, unfortunately not gonna work there. But as we continue driving, Francis, I do need another dex check here for piloting with advantage due to Trescott's back seating at an 18. As he's able to point out in the downpour of acid rain here, a couple of rather large rocks for you to avoid, and you are able to avoid them here. And then I want a dexterity saving throw from the vehicle itself.
From the vehicle. Okay.
As you're able to avoid some of the larger rocks, but lightning still strikes in the area around you.
I was just checking; it didn't have advantage for some. No, it's the prone thing. No, so it's just a straight dex check for the
correct
the demon grinder, which is a 2.
That is a 2, and the lightning will find the mark here, dealing 30 points of damage as it strikes the vehicle, and a hole does indeed appear in the vehicle, and I need everyone inside of it to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oh gosh,
I love those.
I rolled a 9.
So first one's for Francis, an 18.
I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Second for V is an 8.
Okay. So the vehicle here, okay, Cyrus with a 13, and let me get, poor Moon Color is also in this and at disadvantage because they can't move inside this thing. That is an 8. Fortunately, the hull of your vehicle takes the brunt of the damage. So Hugo here, you're going to take 6 points. Francis will take 6 points. Trescott, Cyrus, V, and Moon Color here will all take 15.
Does evasion work here?
Yes.
Cool. I'll take 6 then. Oh, yeah.
I think that, does evasion have to be successful to take 0, right?
Yeah, if it's success, wait. Yeah, if it's success, I take none. And if I fail, I take half.
Okay, allows you to make a dexterity saving throw only when to take half. You instead take no damage if you succeed and half if you fail. Yeah, so you'll take also the 6, which is fine. Which I know my half is a little bit less than that, but that's
the
fine.
real question.
Yeah, now there's a hole in the roof. So I need V to roll me a Tinker's Tools check to take whatever remains of the scrap metal that we have to try and patch this location so acid rain doesn't just continue to pelt down inside at those in there. That being said, the vehicle does take 9 more points of acid damage as you continue to drive through the storm.
Hugo is furiously leafing through his Atlas of Endless Horizons.
Okay.
And has spent the last minute swapping the spell Watery Sphere into his list.
Ooh.
Okay.
And when the hole in the roof appears, I will summon a 5-foot radius, so 10-foot diameter, watery sphere and hold it above the demon grinder to absorb all the acid rain.
It's 5-foot diameter?
No, it's 5-foot radius, so it's 10-foot diameter. It says I can fit a large creature in it, so...
Okay, yeah, so it's going to encompass a good portion of the demon... The demon grinder is gargantuan vehicle here. So there is going to be portions of it that lie outside.
I'd be holding it over the crew cabin in front, if you like.
Is it the spell? Is it at a point within range, or can you attach it to an object?
Okay, so I summon it. Well, this is the thing. I summon it as an action, but then I can move it.
How far?
Each turn 30 feet, which is pretty far.
Thing can travel quite quick.
The demon grinder has a speed of 100 feet.
I could instruct Francis to slow down.
You can. Would you like to?
Seems like a not.
Yes.
Well,
I would say, Francis, hold it under my sphere. It'll protect us from the rain.
I have to look ahead, Hugo. You have to.
Well, slow down. If you slow down,
But do we want to spend more time in the rain?
But it won't hit us with this over it, and then we'll have a giant acid ball that we can throw at something. But that'll come later.
How long does the spell remain?
I can keep it up for a minute.
1 minute, traveling at 30 feet per round. So 300 total feet that you can hold this thing up. Okay? All right.
How can we see?
Sure.
I'll do that though for now.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So that's what you do.
I can
You
recast it if it fails.
Yeah, you maintain the concentration on this thing here to absorb as much of the acid as possible. As you've done that here, the vehicle will then take half the amount of acid damage that it would regularly. So this will be just 4, as it, is absorbed mostly by the watery sphere that is providing a bit of an umbrella for your vehicle here. That being said, Francis, you've had to slow down quite immensely, right? The lightning still rages around you here, and you are no longer moving as quickly. Is anyone else preparing anything? Trescott, are you doing like the lookout thing still here?
Of course.
Okay, roll me another perception check as you continue to backseat drive.
I rolled a 7.
That is a 7. Unfortunately, not gaining the advantage here necessary for Francis. Francis, I do need another piloting check as you again try to avoid in the torrential downpour here obstacles and lightning.
It's a 10. Prescott, get your great big bonts out of my face when I'm driving!
The lightning again will find the vehicle here, as I need another dexterity saving throw from everyone inside of it. Unfortunately, the watery sphere does not necessarily negate the lightning that lances through the area. But yeah.
V got in that one.
I got 20.
Okay.
I rolled an 18.
Again, fortunately, the hull of your vehicle takes the brunt of the damage here. So this comes down to 12. V will take the 12. Francis, you'll take 6. Cyrus, you'll take 0 due to evasion. Trescott, you'll take 6. Hugo, that is 12.
I have to roll concentration as well.
You are.
Oh, don't drop
DC 10. Good to go there.
Drop it.
Mooncolor will take another 12 here as well as you continue to drive through this. And you could, and you do so. And this goes on for quite some time, trying to hold this sphere and things above your head, and another 5 points of acid damage as the rain continues. Francis, roll me a perception check, and Trescott too, because you are looking out the slip.
We're not far from this thing.
I'm hoping.
Yeah,
it's a 15.
Okay.
11.
At a 15, fortunately, you see a break in the storm, and it seems to be in the center of this phosphorus cloud. It looks to be radiating out from a central location here. And you see what looks to be a 300-foot high, like, mountain-esque form. And it's hard to see through, like, the actual bits here, right? It's hard to see, like, what this thing actually is. But as you get closer and closer to it, you see something sticking out the top here. This form, this citadel of a kind. And I'll go ahead and, I'll pull out some, hopefully we have a little bit of a picture here for this, in that it looks to be like a mountain chained to the earth. This citadel lies inside of it. And you look ahead of you here and you realize that you are still some 300 feet away from the base and the break of the storm. Is there anything that you would like to do in your continuation of moving here?
I will just Mooncolor, can you move your head near me so I can pet you, because I'm gonna get a bit stressed out right now.
Oh yes, sorry. Right here, yes. Oh my god. Yeah. Wait. Why can't I find the damn picture for this? Apparently, is not easily findable.
As we break into the eye of the storm, you just see Hugo just like throw the giant sphere of water back into the storm.
There it is. Yeah, and you throw it back into the storm. The sphere now out of your grasp. There's the picture of the scab. This is what you see in the center of the storm, a citadel rising out of this bloody looking mountain some 300 feet high. These great iron chains strapping the citadel down to the ground here.
Quite apt.
Can't help but notice a motif of holding things with chains.
Yeah, it's how Avernus gets
just how horrible Avernus is, to be honest. I thought I'd always picked it up in my mind, but no, it's truly fucked.
Yeah, it really is. So as the orb is flung behind here, Francis, you see this. I'm going to give an option here. You can, instead of doing the piloting checks, you can choose to instead like push the vehicle to its limit and dash, as it were, to get there faster. But this will basically mean that there's no check against the rain or the lightning. What would you like to do?
No, slow and steady wins the race, Joel. I'm not gonna bomb it right as we see the finish line. No, I'm gonna maintain the pace.
Okay. So Hugo has said that the sphere is no longer atop the vehicle. So would you like to ramp back up to your normal speed?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. In that, then go ahead and make me a piloting check. I did not see a Tinker Tools check from.
Oh, sorry. I meant to. I forgot. What attribute is it with?
It's going to likely be Dex because it's due to the speed in which things need to be patched here. And I need 2, so that's 17 for the first hole.
17 and
Nat 20 for the second. Yeah, so it seems that we have just enough scrap to cover both of these holes here. And at an 8 on the Dex, unfortunately, we are still going to find that lightning striking us as it rages about the area here. I need Dex saves from everyone inside again.
25.
16 for Francis.
I will say I've actually forgotten anyone inside gets a +3 because of my Aura of Protection somehow. No Oathbreaker has. But it wouldn't have mattered any other time. It wouldn't have mattered any other time up to this point. Because
it does
it's like
matter for V here now.
That's why I said it.
Trescott, V, Cyrus, Francis all take 5. Hugo will. Cyrus will take 0. Hugo will take the 10. And our friend Mooncolor here is also going to take 10 because with disadvantage, this is miserable. Okay.
See a bubble around Hugo seem to shatter.
Okay.
Oh, damn it, I spent ages preparing that this morning.
The Demon Grinder also takes 12 points of acid rain damage as it continues to eat into the hull. Fortunately, in the next 100 feet, you break through that surrounding, circle, the eye of the storm here, where you see the bleeding Citadel on the inside, and you're able to get out of the raging sulfurous acid storm around you here.
Joel, once we break through the storm, I'm gonna pull over.
Sure.
So I don't want to just immediately start driving towards the scab. I want to take a look around first.
Yeah, absolutely. And so from here, you can kind of pop your head out the hatch. People can take a look around the area. Go ahead and roll me just perception checks.
It's a 5 for Francis.
Man, Francis, you were killing it today, huh?
First got rolled a 10.
Hugo with a 12. Francis, do you want to do V's as well?
Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting.
It's okay.
My bad. 23 for V.
Right. Cyrus and V with rather high rolls here. As you look out towards the scab, you note that it looks like the lower 100 feet of the scab seems to have taken this bit of a rocky form. But the upper 200 of this mountainous looking like flesh, it seems softer. It's covered in these weeping wounds. Blood pours down the side of this hill. As you look about it here, though, I think V would be the only one to notice that there's figures moving about the top of the scab here. And as V watches, they disappear inside of it, seemingly found some kind of entrance into the bleeding structure.
Now, V would point out the entrance that she saw the creatures go into. Does it look to be any regular path up, Joel, or are we going to have to walk across the giant wound?
So, looking about here, it looks like the easiest way would likely be taking one of these great iron chains that is holding this thing down.
Oh, great.
That being said, you could attempt to climb the scab itself, but it looks like it is likely slick with blood and would be a rather difficult climb unless we have ways to do that. Additionally, you've got a horse
Gonna say we do have a unicorn, and Cyrus can fly, right? We have some ways to get up there.
I can make all of us fly if we want to.
I mean, I can slowly, I can
Even if I was
levitate myself.
No, not
We
this
just have to
again,
throw you around.
Francis.
What
Yes,
do
I
you-
suppose if we
what do
give you
you-
a solid push after you levitate, then your
Well, if
chief's magic
Cyrus-
will do the trick.
If Cyrus just, holds my hand or grabs my shoulder as we're going up, he can sort of pull me along, and I won't. Because I mean, the last time I climbed on one of those chains, I lost the arm almost. So, well, I'm loath to do it again.
Well, if there's no alternative course, it really is quite a lot for me to make other people fly, but we
I think
can do it.
you. I guess my question to Mooncaller: how many people do you think you could handle on your back, if that's okay?
Unfortunately, I do not think I could climb that slick surface with just my hooves, but I have recovered somewhat, and I believe I could teleport 3 of us to the top at that entrance.
Well, you don't have to take me, so perhaps you should take... Is 3 including you, or is 3 with...
Myself and 3 others.
Ah, well, perfect. You should take Trescott, Francis, and V, and Cyrus and I can fly up.
Be aware this will be the only time I can do this today.
I think it'd be better
possible we should save that.
It's an escape plan.
Yeah.
It's true, actually.
Steal
we
the
should-
sword and get out of there.
Again, only myself and 3 others. Some would have to be left behind.
Some of us are fast. It's the cat.
Some of us can dimension door to places they remember.
That's true, actually, as well. Yeah. So, I wouldn't say we'd be stuck.
Yes, we have 2 people who can dimension door, I believe.
I believe you copied me with that, Hugo.
Did I really, Francis? Can you teleportation circle? No. Arcane gate? No. Plane shift? No. Gate? No. I can.
Wait, you can plane shift and we've been here the whole time?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. out loud. I got baited by an old sparring partner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that would mean that if things did...
Sorry, can I just ask Joel, whilst this discussion is going on, can we be taking a short rest?
Yes,
Can
absolutely.
we take a short rest after this discussion so some of us can recover spell slots?
I think the discussion can happen while you take a short rest. And while we do that, let's take a short rest ourselves, since we're about
Hey.
halfway
Need it.
through the show here. I do, though. So we will be right back with more descending into Avernus, where we may descend into
Literally?
a
Avernus.
fleshy bit.
Are we? We're kind of going up though. It's up on a hilltop. We're kind of ascending.
So
But then we're
far,
gonna
Let me
descend
assure you, we shall find our descent. But yes,
into Avernus.
let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Everyone good? Ready? Feeling good? Coffee and
let's
stuff?
win some Avernus.
Let's win some Avernus. Welcome
Let's
back to
save
Winning
Alpha.
Avernus,
Yeah.
where our party slowly loses their souls while in Avernus, but that's winning.
That is winning.
Remember when we used to go to bathhouses? That was fun.
Oh, God. I actually missed the Baldur's Gate portion of this campaign. I thought it was
Is
so
that because
fun.
I wasn't in it?
Yes.
No, the
mean,
stakes were
that's
just
true.
lower.
The stakes were much lower, and also, it was just, I don't know, it was fun. It was chaotic, but it was fun.
Yeah, the Baldur's Gate section was really good.
Yeah.
I think.
So, welcome back to Avernus. We are outside the Bleeding Citadel and the Scab, this fleshy mountain that encapsulates the Citadel, while it's being held down by these black iron Avernus chains. So, how
Let's
would you
do
like
it.
to ascend? Oh, I think some of
Craig,
my
you're
friends.
Some
scraping.
interesting noise.
Oh,
What are you
Oh,
scraping?
sorry. I wasn't.
you got some scratch offs there?
I think I was rubbing up against the mic, which sounds kind of weird. Like I don't know. I think my arm was rubbing next to it.
We're leaving that in. Craig was getting real nice and close, personal
just
for
keeping
you.
myself entertained whilst you're doing the world building, Joel.
I'm sorry that it bores you so much, Craig.
Exposition? Fuck off.
Fuck that. The next time I play one of your games, Craig, we're gonna do the same thing. You just wait. God. Yeah, so we find ourselves outside the 300-foot tall hill, and we've seen some creatures, some things making their way into a hole at the top of it. So how are we getting to the top? You've also taken a short rest here, so if you rolled like hit die and stuff like that, go ahead and do so.
Francis rolled all of his.
Mine and V's, John.
Oh, I see.
Let's not get too hasty.
Yeah, let's not get too hasty about it. So don't worry, Mooncolor's going to roll theirs too. We're going to give it a nice little 3d10 action. Oof.
Nice.
Okay, he's still a little...
I say we fly there.
He's still a little hurt, so we're going to do another... All right, so 18 plus his cons here. All right, cool. He's back.
Yeah, I feel like flying there and having Mooncaller have the ability to get us out quickly might be the best bet, instead of blowing that teleportation to get up there and then not have any way to get out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can levitate, so
I can fly up. It's really no problem.
I can't fly.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. We have at least 2 things that can't. Mooncolor, can you naturally fly?
No, I cannot.
Poor thing.
I mean, Mooncolor can teleport some of us, or we can save that.
You can only do that like once.
Yes, but we have 2 people who can teleport people. Okay, look, I can make more than one of us fly. I'm sure we can figure it out from there.
Yeah, Hugo is right. Why don't we just... Mooncolor, you can teleport, like we said, Trescott, myself, and V, and Hugo and Cyrus can fly up. But maybe teleport us just as they're about to get there. I don't want to get teleported up there and then have to sit around waiting for 5 minutes.
I suggest we teleport our incredibly armored friend up first, in case there's anything up there. But yes, anyway, I'll cast Fly on myself.
Okay.
Give myself a flying speed.
You have a flying speed now, I believe. How long does fly last?
Oh, 10 minutes.
Okay. Plenty of time.
Yeah, my fly that lasts 1.
Correct. So you gotta like get up there.
Book it.
The issue with that is my speed is halved
Yep.
because I'm tired.
You gotta just get up there.
Dash like you
Okay.
never dashed
Well, if
before.
Cyrus had told me any of this prior, I could have made him fly. But
Well, hey, it's been an hour. We can say that you have had this discussion because.
No, I've already cast Fly on myself.
All right, never mind. You got to fly on yourself, Cyrus. You can fly. You can fly. You got a minute to get up there, and then Mooncolor will teleport Francis, V, and Trescott to the top. Are we wanting Hugo to scout this first, since you have 10 minutes to do so?
Sure.
Yeah, sure, I can if people request me to do so.
Okay.
I'll fly
scout
up and
Hugo.
have a look.
Okay, sure, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a perception check as you fly up here towards the great disgusting scab the size of a large hill rising up from the stinking swamp of blood. The domed top of the alabaster temple pokes through the scab,
17.
and black iron chains attach it within the grotesque mound. You fly up to where V had pointed out she saw figures making their way inside, and you do note something. Yes, there is an obvious way to enter it through a rather large hole near the top. Looking down inside of it, it looks like there's no light sources inside that you can see, and it looks like the interior here was dug. You can see scrapes and claw marks and teeth marks of what looks to be burrowing into the side of this fleshy structure here.
Okay. Well, I'll sort of float like half the way back down and relay that to my companion.
Yeah, kind of like shout it out down there.
Yeah.
Sure. Mooncolor nods and says, all right, those of you that are wish to teleport, hold on.
I touched the unicorn.
Mm-hmm. He
My
shudders
parents
at your touch, Trescott.
He would.
And you are teleported to the top, outside of this circular gaping wound at the top of the scab that forms a tunnel descending into the darkness. Cyrus,
Well, I guess
you sprout your wings and fly.
flying. Yep, I'll be dashing as well.
Yeah. In that amount, you would be able to ascend to the top of the 300-foot high area here within your minute. rather exhausting work in your state, but you are able to arrive next to the unicorn, your friends, at the entrance of the scab.
I'm so tired.
I believe that is a once a day use. Is that correct?
Well, it's once per long rest, but yeah.
Per long rest, once a day. Okay. Yeah. You sit outside this hole. The darkness kind of coming up out of it here. What do you want to do?
I guess we're going in.
I guess so.
Geronimo, as they.
Does anyone...
Why don't you go first, Trescott?
I can't see. Does anyone have a light source?
I mean, I can put light on everyone.
I can see in the dark, but
You want to just cast the light spell on Trescott here?
Sure.
Okay.
What wins, my darkness or my lightness?
Fortunately, the light spell is not interfered by your darkness, your hatred.
My hatred, yes. Okay, yeah, I'll lead the way. Trescott's leading the way.
Great. Trescott out in front as you begin to descend into the hole here. It goes downwards quite a ways. Go ahead and roll me a perception check since you are in the front here as you kind of look outwards. Hugo, you can roll one as well with your dark vision kind of assisting you. And see how much you can kind of see
4.
in the first area here.
We are so good.
I can't see shit.
Okay.
I can see.
I can see. A 12. As you descend into the scab here, the winds of the wastes behind you kind of fading away as you push deeper into the darkness, Trescott's light giving you a bit of a way to see through here. You see the scab on one side of this narrow passage has been stripped away, partially revealing one of the Citadel's stained glass windows. The opaque blue and yellow panes depict the contemplative face of a beautiful angel. Is there anything that you would like to do here? As I also move you to a rather curious map, and I thought this one was interesting, so we're going to use it because unlike many of the other maps in this game, this is not top-down. This map is actually side-on, which is rather interesting. So the stained glass window here in front of you is what I've just described, and there are different passageways that proceed deeper within the scab. You can make your decisions in that way. The path that you just came in was up this direction to your left, leads outwards back onto the plains of Avernus. So again, this is a side-on map for everyone at home here. So just keep that in mind that if we do run into any trouble here, some of this will be kind of a theater of the mind experience for locations.
Everyone's standing like this.
Yeah.
Everyone just remember the wasp nest and is like, oh god. How many times will they misunderstand
Terraria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Trescott would definitely can he like look through the glass? Like, is there anything on the other side?
so yeah, again, it is opaque blue and yellow paints, meaning you cannot see through
Darn.
it.
I hate that
here.
word.
Opaque. Yeah, sorry. Opaque. Yeah.
Such a beautiful picture for being such a disgusting place.
I get the impression that this stuff, I'll say gesturing at the bleeding walls, perhaps grew around the Citadel, maybe lending the name of the bleeding Citadel.
Logical.
That would make sense.
That is a powerful deduction, Francis.
So, which way are we going?
I'm
Trescott.
kind of floating around inside, like having a little peer down each passage because I've still got my
Sure.
fly up.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a little perception check as you do so. We'll
God.
take that into account.
Joel, can't you say investigate? I've got +9 in investigation.
Well, investigation, if you would like to investigate.
Natural 20,
the-
fuck off.
This is D&D, folks.
Yeah. Take that, Joel.
I can't tell you the smartest thing that you can possibly do is tell your DM to fuck off when you're entering into the darkness here. Yeah, absolutely. At a natural 20, as you kind of move about here, I'm gonna drag your token a little bit as you kind of like give a little bit, closer perception of the passageways. Down this direction to your north, you note that the passageway extends quite far beyond your vision, and it doesn't sound like you can hear much of anything. You feel like you can hear voices down that way, but it's much too garbled and too far for you to understand, like what language would be being spoken or anything like that, but you do hear something down that direction. So you kind of come back around and float down closer to this area here and take a pier down this way. Again, it extends past your vision, but you do note that it goes pretty far downwards. And I think that what you hear in this one here, and rather simultaneously in this one here, as you also find a passageway that moves down, is the buzzing of insects. Quite a lot of them is what it sounds like in those directions.
Not again.
But you also note that there does seem to be a bit of a passage that kind of canters off in this direction to your south and west.
Well, I hear voices of some sorts coming from that passage. I'll indicate the top one to the group.
Mm-hmm.
The others seem to go quite deep down, and, well, the ones to our south are full of buzzing sounds that I don't particularly fancy educating myself on.
You've made my decision for me. We go this way.
It is Sidon. Is there a way for us to get up there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Gotta use
You'd be
the
able to
bungee
just
rope
get up
once.
there. I'm not gonna argue with it too much. Again, this map's a little bit weird. So we're gonna do some theater of the mind work here and how to maneuver about it. As you continue
You tell me when to stop, Joel.
Yeah, sure. I would love for you to stop, and I'm going to just drag you down this direction.
Alrighty.
Till about right here. And, I'll move
Like more for me,
our
roll
map.
20, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of
I
those,
love it when you
those
barely work.
big maps. Fortunately, I've got it running on 2 separate instances, so that's a lot of fun.
Lovely.
Yeah, so you kind of find yourself here at this crossroads, and I would love a perception check from you, Trescott, as you kind of like make your way over here.
One of these days this will work.
A 2.
Not today.
Yeah, you note that it does look like there's a couple of things happening here. That there's a passageway that kind of continues off towards your east, and then there's one that kind of like goes down this way. And you can hear, even with just a 2, the sound of voices, but they're in a language that you don't understand. However, fortunately for you, one of your new friends, does
I was gonna say this is the
understand
unicorn.
Wait, I don't.
What language is it?
It is Abyssal.
I
I don't know Abyssal.
It is Abyssal.
Curses.
And so in telepathic form, as a unicorn does, hold. I sense demons about. We must be careful moving forward. There are some rather close to us. I can hear them talking. It seems that they are waiting for some form of meal. They seem to be arguing amongst themselves on who gets the first bite.
Are we able to respond telepathically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think it's us?
I am confused as to why demons would be in here in particular.
Perhaps they have also learned of Zariel's sword. I'm sure your celestial friend, that parish, would be able to tell you.
I miss Lulu.
I think we all do.
Do you know which direction the voices are coming from? I can hear them, but I don't.
To our south here. I feel as if they are just beneath us.
Well, do we wish to get the upper hand on them or avoid them entirely? There were other tunnels that led deeper in.
I vote
True.
to avoid them.
But you said there was buzzing in the other ones.
In
That
two of the
direction
other
we wanna
ones,
go?
there was one without buzzing that seemed to just lead deeper down.
Be a good idea.
Is that the decision? To turn back?
We need V. She's the smart one. Is V a bunch of dumb dudes?
I mean, I have an intelligence of 20. I think you're the idiot, Cyrus.
All right, well, okay, Mr. Intelligence of 20. You make the decisions then. I shouldn't make the decisions. I've hurt myself so many times.
Yes, okay.
Point Trescott in the right
think,
direction.
I think we should go back and investigate the tunnel that leads deeper. But
I'm going. Here we
it
go.
is a
Trescott's
group
going.
consensus.
Righto.
Okay.
We.
Yeah, I'll drag the rest of the group if you guys don't want to move.
That would be
Back.
handy, actually. To save me the arduous task.
The arduous task. As I move us back. So yes, Hugo, again, the buzzing came from the one directly next to you here on your eastern side, and then one of the southeastern looking passage from down here.
So this one here was no buzzing.
There
right?
was.
Oh, there was. Sorry, I thought you meant the two down here. What about this
so there was buzzing in this one, but not to the southwest passage.
Right, okay. Well, I would lead towards the southwest passage then.
Okay, sure. As you move down to the southwest passage, again, I'll just grab whatever remains of the group here and kind of show you in this little spot here. So this is a side-on area. So give me just a moment here as you proceed to the other side of the map.
Oh,
Goodness.
As you pass
We're
over
walking
what
in
seems
circles.
to be this blood pool on the ground, you're able to skirt around it here. And there's a narrow passage ahead that looks like you may even have to crawl through it a bit to be able to get to the other side.
Will our new friend be able to fit through there?
It looks really tight.
I mean, let's all be honest. It looks like the intestines.
I mean, I
He's
get
gross.
it.
I mean, does this thing have organs? Is it, I don't know if we can equate the same things to it.
I mean, it is.
Would you like to investigate the walls?
Not really.
You know what? I will. I would
about
like to
it.
do a medicine check to see if
You want
this.
to medicine check the walls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use my knowledge of humanoid anatomy, I guess.
Sure. That's a
20.
20. It is definitely a fleshy substance. It is, in fact, bleeding. Now, how it is come to be, whether or not it has organs, is unclear. But it is flesh.
Yeah. So everybody, we are either, at least the way I see it in this horrifying, terrible garbage place, we're either in a dead/dying creature of some sort, an amalgamation of the flesh of, I assume, victims of hell, or we're just in a place that likes to be decorated with flesh. None of those options are fun. I hate it here even more. I don't like the idea of crawling, but it might be all we can do. The issue is, and I'll look at Mooncolor and be like, I don't know if you can get through here.
Yes, it looks like we would have to dig it out, which I do not feel very confident about.
So does that mean we go double back again another direction, or we press through?
Well,
You are muted, Trescott.
You're muted.
the silence.
So
spell has taken
buzzing,
him.
buzzing, or demons.
Okay, you can have
or-
demon, buzzing, or ass town. Make your choice.
With potentially demons or buzzing on the other side. We're not sure yet.
True.
I mean, I guess I would pick, if of all the things, the demons, I really didn't like. So I'm going to assume the buzzing is probably the wasp type creatures that we've met before.
I imagine so.
And I really don't like them. I would take the demons over them. So if Mooncolor can't fit through here without us digging this place out, I'm also scared to dig and cut away at this place, in that maybe it alerts some higher being that either exists in the walls or could tell, I don't know, whoever is in charge here. So perhaps the demons is the best route if we don't want to dig it up.
Do we have anyone quiet enough to scout ahead? Because perhaps this is the direction that we need to go.
Does the DM foreshadowingly?
Now that Hugo is no longer a rogue boy.
I mean,
I can go invisible, and Francis can as well, I believe.
I can, and I also have a +11 to stealth, so...
Well, off you go then. We've got a volunteer.
Alright, I will sneak through the ass on my hands and knees.
Do you choose?
I chose not to say sphincter for a reason, but okay.
Do you choose to cast invisibility on yourself as well, or are you just going to?
No,
sneak?
I'm just going to sneak initially. So, shall I make a roll, Joel?
Absolutely. Roll me a stealth check.
It's a 13, so not great.
So pretty good. Francis, can you see in the dark?
No.
Francis, how are you going to proceed?
I guess I will start crawling through it and then be like, wait, I just realized I can't see. Maybe someone with dark vision should go ahead. I can't do
Come
this.
crawling back.
I mean,
Well, that's
I have
not good.
Cyrus
Does anyone
could make you glow.
Does anyone else have dark vision
I
besides
have dark
me?
vision.
Wait, you're not a human?
I'm half elf.
I always forget that.
Well, flip a
Cyrus, if you
coin.
want to go ahead, I don't love the look of that. Be my guest.
I'll do it.
Cyrus, in your exhaustion, you do have to roll these at disadvantage.
That is true.
Your first point of exhaustion would cause these disadvantage, which I've been rather generous
is
about
true.
your perception checks and otherwise for
Oh, yeah, I
today.
totally forgot about those.
But this
yeah.
this one has some real meaning, so.
I'm going in.
Oh, we're losing you, I think. Got real crackly there.
That was very weird.
Roll me a stealth check
I
with disadvantage.
think it got crackly because I was moving my token on roll 20.
Okay.
Hey.
Roll me a stealth check with disadvantage.
16.
Cyrus, you move forward and crawl, moving very slowly and carefully until you get to about here. And I'm going to move the map for everyone at home to be able to see a little bit. You see the edge of something here. The side of the Citadel kind of extends upwards towards the center, but you also note something across. You see a fiend, and then you see another, resembling scaly 9-foot-tall bipedal toads standing waist deep in a pool of blood, bellowing as they claw at each other. Look a little bit like that for those of you at home.
They're cute.
Yikes.
Floating near them is the half-eaten corpse of a bearded devil clutching a glaive. The pool itself looks to be roughly 20 feet wide and 40 feet long, with a horseshoe-shaped ledge around it, and they are just biting and clawing and tearing into one another. The party behind is going to be able to hear this sound as they begin to tussle.
Not a fan of that.
I really hope that's not Cyrus.
It doesn't
I think
sound great.
I think he'd be louder if it was Cyrus.
I feel like he would have yelled banana bread by now.
I'm going to crawl back.
Okay.
I'm going to go backwards instead of turning around.
Yeah, just kind of
Because I wanna
shimmy
be able-
yourself backwards.
Yeah, I want to be able to make sure that, like, if they move, I can kind of just, like,
You can see them.
flatten myself and stay still.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty well distracted here as you begin to like shimmy yourself backwards. It takes a little bit of time to, push yourself through the tighter portions of the area, but you are able to make your way back.
That wasn't you, thank goodness.
No, I wouldn't say that too quickly. It was some frog-looking demons. There was a bearded devil that looked like it was being consumed.
Oh.
It may
But
be
they
that
didn't see...
demons.
Sorry, go ahead, Nicola.
It may be that demons infest this area.
Seems that way.
Did you see a way through, or?
I was unable to see.
I'll give you the what you would have been able to see. So you saw the walls of the Citadel, some more of those like stained glass windows, but it looked to be an encapsulated chamber. There was a pool of blood, but there did not seem to be an exit.
I relay that.
A dead end then.
Yeah. It's a good thing we didn't just immediately choose to excavate. I do feel like that would have. Okay, so essentially we're down to giant hell wasps, or devil or demons that we could potentially get the drop on.
Seems like a simple answer, in my opinion.
We're just gonna go back where we were initially.
Ooh, that's my vote. And if I'm leading the way, that's my vote.
I'm inclined to agree. Those wasps traumatized me. What am I saying? Everything here is traumatizing. I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna have nightmares for the rest of my days.
So we're proceeding back to the first demon location.
Let's do it.
Yes, Joel. I believe we are.
All right, I'm gonna grab everyone here and kind of bring you all up to that spot as we make our way back around. Kind of find yourself near that location where you had previously heard them.
Well, do we just start firing at whoever's in there, or trying to get the drop on them, like Hugo said?
Perhaps we should proceed quietly.
I don't do that very well, Francis.
I know, but you can still at least make an attempt.
I sure can. Let's proceed quietly.
Okay. Roll stealth checks.
That is a 2.
Trescott.
10.
Yeah.
11.
At disadvantage. Yep. Okay. Wow. This is going really well.
Clink.
So that's a nat 1 from Trescott, 10 for Cyrus, Francis at a 16, 13 for V, Hugo with an 11, and let's just do our unicorn friend here as well. That's a 6. So
great.
we get to the spot, and I'm gonna just drag Trescott down here, and yeah, Trescott, you're kind of noticeable because you're literally just a beacon
glowing
of light in the darkness here. So as you get to this location, and I describe what you see in front of you here, a pool of blood fills the center of this chamber. 5 goat-headed demons reeking of rot crouch along the edges of the pool, staring at a corpse within it. They all look up at you and shriek out something in Abyssal, and I'm going to need everyone to roll me initiative.
Okay.
They say, "Hello, welcome to our humble abode."
Would you like some dead body?
Turns out
It's fresh.
they do not do that.
Damn.
And yeah, we'll just go ahead and roll that in here, and let's give it the old. Yeah, I like this song. We'll just use this one.
I oops myself.
Okay. Let's see. I got V, Francis, Trescott, Hugo. So I need to add Cyrus
Yeah.
at a 19, and then I will get Mooncolor added as well.
I hope Mooncaller points their horn at it and just fires a giant laser beam.
A
or
laser
something.
beam?
It would be
Yeah.
a rainbow drum.
It would be a rainbow.
Fortunately for you, this creature gets to go first, and I'll go ahead and show you what these look like.
Goatman.
Yep,
Ooh.
Goatman. They have these boils and pustules and flies buzzing about them. They smell horrific. and they have long, barbed tails as well. And this one will vertically leap up towards you, Trescott, here, landing on the ground in front of you, and is going to attack.
I figured as much.
Yeah, absolutely. Is going to use its barbed tail to lash out at you here. It is a 19 to hit, which fortunately you're going to be able to catch with your shield, and it will not be able to do make any damage against you here. Cyrus, go ahead. And yeah, as a note, this again is all like flat ground. You can maneuver around things here. So like if you wanted to be next to the creature, you can do that. We just kind of have to use a bit of our imagination here on this sideways map.
Who uses imagination playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Playing Dungeons and Dragons, I know. It's all about that realism.
Yeah, I mean, I because my speed is lower and I'm exhausted anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just like not. Oh man, I'm so happy, by the way, that we had a day of travel, because if I had disadvantage on attack rolls,
it would be very difficult. Yes.
That
So,
would
are you
suck.
just going to use your sunbeams here?
I am just going to use my sunbeams.
All right, go ahead.
So that's one. Yeah, it's 4 total.
Oh, you're gonna do the flurry
Yeah,
of
I'm using
blows.
my key points.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Whew. Yeah.
2
All
knocks
right.
in a row.
The first
Wow.
two
Wow.
here at a 27 and a 20 are going to be able to lance through this creature. You note, obviously, it's not wearing any armor of any kind. It just seems to have a rather tough hide as you're able to blast through it here. I do want you, however, to make me a Constitution saving throw as well. As you do so, you do deal 16 points of radiant damage to the creature here. Okay,
10 on my
con
con
save on a 10. You note that just being within a range of this creature, your flesh begins to necrotize. You take a d6 of necrotic damage for 4 as
I take 2.
as the bugs of the creature just eat into your flesh.
Finally, I'm taking necrotic damage, which I'm resistant to.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay. and
I
you
shouldn't be
deal
happy about
16
that.
points
Bugs
of
are eating into your flesh.
damage
Yay.
here. Okay. Cyrus, anything else, movement or otherwise?
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna stay put here.
Yeah, Mooncolor is going to go charging down, in whatever space is available here, to then slam or attempt to slam their horn into this creature here. At a 22 is going to be able to hit. It's going to take an additional 2d8 worth of damage on top of what they've already done. So it'll be 13, it'll be 18 total here. And the little bull zoo is going to have to make a strength save, is knocked prone onto the ground by the unicorn here. It is then going to stomp onto the creature. At a 15 will deal another 10 points of piercing damage for a total of 28 total points of damage to the Bullazoo that is now prone on the ground.
Great job.
Yeah, actually, that did an immense amount of damage. The other creatures are going to come leaping up onto the side here. Mooncolor will take a d6 of necrotic damage for that first one there. And all right, and they're going to lash out at Mooncolor because this is the biggest target that they have in front of them. 2 barbed tail attacks here. One is a 7, the other is a 6. And fortunately, Mooncolor's able to avoid both. Now, V, starting their turn within 30 feet of 3 of these Bullazoos, is going to take a d6 plus 3 points of damage of necrotic. So 7 total points of necrotic damage just at the beginning of the turn.
Nice one. Is there space, or is
Yes, absolutely
Mooncolor's
space
are
to like
sticking
kind
up?
of like
Oh,
move around. You can move through your allies and things like that.
Okay.
There's a bit of a ground here that you can move around.
So V will walk up to the prone one and try and hit him with a lightning launcher.
Absolutely.
With the first attack.
With advantage.
So 25.
Absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage there for 9 total points. And the creature looks incredibly injured at this point.
She will try again. 14.
The 14 will just pierce the natural armor of the creature for another 9 points of damage. And yeah, that'll be enough to kill this one.
Very nice. And then V will, I guess she'll move down there and End of turn.
Okay. Yeah. Another Bullazoo is going to come sprinting across that like outcropping and leap up into the area. We'll say that this one lashes out at V since they've moved forward. It'll be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Just misses. For those of you at home, we did do the math on this. V's AC is now 22 with the shield that she has and her 2 other augments there, so just keep that in mind. Is able to block this just barely with that new Sapphire shield. Trescott.
Oh boy. So yeah, I'd like to stab, please.
Absolutely.
Rod of Lordly Might turns into a big old battle axe, big swingies. I assume I'm within range again.
Yeah, you kind of just like move around here.
Yeah.
At the top of your turn, because there are still 3 of them here, you do take 9 points of necrotic damage. Which, yeah.
Forgot I could do math on the thing. Cool. All right, swinging attack.
Okay.
23.
23. Absolutely hits.
And I will burn a spell slot because that's what paladins do.
Mm-hmm.
And smite the crap out of this thing. That is 29
Whoa!
total damage.
Okay, I'm gonna just say it's the one directly in front of V here, just for
Yes.
ease of this. For 29 total points of damage, 14 of which is necrotic. It does not seem resistant to the necrosis that it creates with the bugs around it, the
Good.
flies. And you watch as pieces of its body begin to rot away here as you deal an immense blow.
That was an immense blow. I will swing once again.
Absolutely.
29.
Absolutely hits.
I'm not going to smite this time.
The battle axe
That
will
is
come
19.
through here. Aura of Hate applies all the time, doesn't it?
It sure does for
It
me
sure
and for them.
does.
If they're fiends.
It sure does. Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. For 19
within 10
more
feet.
points of damage. You know what? Close enough. I'll give it to you. That was 1 point off.
one shot him.
Yeah,
Screw
that's
you,
1 point
man.
off. That Bullazoo goes down. Trescott, any other movement or bonus actions?
I am going to do nothing else, I don't think.
Okay, Francis.
Stand there menacingly.
I'm just gonna take like 1 step back. Well, there's Cyrus. And fire at the rightmost.
Sure.
Bullazoo.
Bullazoo. Bullazow. Bullazoo is what I've been
So
calling
22.
him. 22
for
definitely hits.
That's 8 force damage.
For 8. Yep.
Ultra high again. For 13.
This is Agonizing Blast, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
I need to alter this because they need to have your charisma added to it, which for some reason is not there. Because Agonizing Blast takes your charisma bonus.
That's super agonizing.
That's super agonizing. Your charisma bonus here is 4, so both of these are +4. The 13
That's just for
will
damage.
just miss. Yeah, it's just for damage. The 13 will just miss, so you'll deal 12 points of damage on the first blast there.
Okay.
That is your action.
And then I guess I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Hugo.
Okay.
In my turn.
All right, Hugo, you feel bardically inspired.
Wonderful.
What would you like to do?
Viewing these disgusting goatmen, I'm going to point out at a point behind them, far enough away to not get any of my companions.
Okay.
And a streak of green emanates from Hugo's hand and hits the floor, which then grows and explodes into a 20-foot radius sphere. So this is vitriolic sphere. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so it'll hit the 2 of them that remain up
dex
here.
saves from those guys, basically.
Dex save, they do not have magical resistance, so these are straight rolls from them. That is a 4 and a 12.
Okay, so they both fail. So they take 20 points
a lot
of
of ones in
acid
there.
damage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones, actually. They take 20 points of acid damage, and they will take another 5d4 acid damage at the end of their next turn, as they are drenched with acid from
Okay.
vitriolic sphere.
This is just me because I had forgotten this. Both of you do take necrotic damage from the flies
Okay.
around them here at the
yeah.
top of your turn. So Francis, that'll be 3 total. Wow, 3 total for both of you. I rolled double ones on the d6s there.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Yeah, so they'll take another 5d4. So this is like, what is that, Melf's acid arrow, but better?
Yeah, it's Melf's acid kablamo. Noticing the slightly disgusting aura that I seem to be in, I will step back as well.
Yeah, take a brief step back here to be able to see down the tunnel, as it were. The last of the Bullazoos is going to come sprinting across and leap forward to fill the space of the one that was just felled by Trescott. And Trescott, having seen you do this, is going to lash out with their tail as a 19 to hit, which will just miss you as you're able
miss
to.
again.
Yeah, it just slams into your shield once again. Nice.
You
All
tried
right.
this before.
Yeah, Cyrus.
I need a save, right?
There is no save. It is just damage. So you're within 30 feet of these creatures. You take 5 points of necrotic damage, half down to 2 for you.
Woo! Get Shrek'd on. Again, theater of mind. I assume I can still see one of them. I'm going to blast. No, the ones that have been damaged have all died, right?
No, the vitriolic
Two
spear,
of them just
sphere
got wrecked
still
by acid.
are here. You note that these are the 2 that were hit by it.
Okay. I will attack the frontmost one
Okay.
and hope I don't get nat ones on my sunbolts.
The 24 and the 20 of the 2 there, or of the 4 total, do hit for a total of 15 points of damage. And the one here, as it takes like these lancing beams of light shrouded in ash through its body, you note that it does leave holes there, and it looks incredibly injured.
Holy crap. That's cool.
Yeah.
Then I'm done.
Okay. Our unicorn Mooncolor here is going to make multiple attacks. Does not have the charge here, but will use the horn at a 15 to deal 7 points of damage to the first, which is enough to put it down. We'll continue to move forward with the hooves and smash it. That is a natural 20 for 23 total points of damage against the second one here. Yeah, this one now looks incredibly injured as well. Mooncolor will take, at the top of their turn, 4 points of necrotic damage. But that is their turn there as they continue to trample through the Bullazoos. That one is dead. V, what do you want to do?
Double lightning launcher again, I suppose. Against the. Well, actually, no, yeah.
Yeah, if you use it at range, obviously it's going to be a disadvantage due to the proximity of the first one here.
I'll just use it on the one next to me. So, first attack's a 17.
Does hit
for 8 damage. And then the second one is a 27 for 10 damage.
For 10 more, for 18 total points of damage. Absolutely. Yeah, good blast.
And that ends V's turn.
Okay. Again, at the top of the turn, it would have been a d6 plus 2 for 7 necrotic damage. The Bullazoo that is incredibly injured here is going to lash out at Mooncolor. That is a 19 to hit, which will hit Mooncolor for 13 piercing damage. And I believe it will get advantage on the con save here. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Turns out a unicorn can't get poisoned. Completely immune to the poisoning effect of the barbed tails. Will just take the 13 points of piercing damage here.
Yeah, the last thing I want is a poisoned unicorn.
Yeah, right. Okay.
If I drink its blood, will I lose my nose? And
Maybe.
put myself on the back of someone's head?
Belazoo, whatever, take the extra acid damage from Connor's thing?
Oh, at the top.
Yes, at the end of the turn.
Oh,
I take
okay.
it.
right.
It ends the turn. The acid takes its effect. Go ahead and roll me the 5d4.
16.
Ooh, yeah, and
Almost
it's
as
enough.
much as the first.
And the acid continues to eat away at the creature, and it falls onto its now missing knees and dice.
It's just got very thin skin, so.
Indeed. Okay, yeah, that one is now gone. Trescott, one remains, and it howls out at you.
I'm going to swing my battle axe at its face. 27.
Absolutely hits. I love the
That is-
plus 12 that you get there.
14, yeah.
For
so
14
that's a
points
lot.
of damage here, yeah. And it is absolutely fighting for its life at this point, right?
Well, here comes the other battle axe.
22
22.
does hit.
19 more damage.
I'll give it to you. It's 1 point off.
Yay!
As you're able to slam through this last Bullazoo here, slaying it, decapitating it neatly with your battle axe.
Well, if this is all that's in here, I kind of hope this is all that's in here.
There are goats, though, Trescott. Have you ever looked at a goat's eye? It's square. It's horrible. Have you never seen a goat's eye close up?
It's not really square.
Oh,
It's
a rectangle.
Rectangle, yes.
Okay, sorry. But nonetheless, it's very weird looking, and it makes me uncomfortable.
I'll take a
goats
look.
are cool.
Yeah, Francis, they're not real goats. They're goat men.
Oh, well, that makes it better that they have their eyes look so upsetting to me.
Perfect. Yeah, that was gross. So you said that they were looking around a body?
I think Mooncolor speak up. Shall we investigate what they were doing here?
Good idea. What if we get someone who has a +9 to investigation to take a look?
That's a wonderful idea. I've investigated many places all over the place. So, yes, I shall investigate the area requiring my investigation skill.
Sounds good.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once
As
we roll
you
a one.
move forward here, Hugo, I'm just going to put you into the room.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah. You note that this pool of blood fills the center of this chamber, and you see something in the pool. It's somewhat humanoid looking, and you've seen creatures like it before. It looks to be a night hag. It's purplish skin and horns.
It's
here.
not Red Ruth, is it?
With your 20, you would note it is not Red Ruth.
Oh, there's some sort of hag in the water. It's not Ruth, mind you, but it's a similar creature.
And they were eating it?
I assume so.
Yeah. Do you want to investigate the corpse more closely?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation of that as well, just to like get a better idea.
27.
It looks like it's rather tattered. You note that there are distinct puncture wounds from likely the Bulazoo's tails and maybe even teeth, but it looks like they hadn't actually eaten any portion of the hag yet. You do, however, find inside the tattered robes a belt pouch, and it contains an incredibly perfect diamond. You note that it's probably worth somewhere in the realm of 5,000 gold pieces. And a small flask that seems to be full of some kind of liquid.
Liquid I've seen before? Or is it just
Roll me a nature check at advantage.
an advantage? Okay. 18.
It's water from the river Styx.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to drink that. She had this rather lovely diamond on her, and I've also found some bottled Styxian spring water if anybody's feeling thirsty.
You really are a changed man now, Hugo. The old Hugo would have taken that diamond and put it in his pocket and not told anyone.
I haven't given it to you yet, Francis. I'll put it in my pocket with some theatric flair.
Might be good to know that we have that. I know it's a... No, I don't. Never mind. Trescott would...
Don't worry, Mooncolor
worry
does, though.
Good.
A diamond could be used to great effect with some resurrection spells. I believe Revivify, it is necessary in the casting.
Wink.
There you go.
V states that she has Revivify.
Indeed. And this is where, if Kat was here, I would make mention of the previous Revivify that brought Trescott back. And, how did that happen? That's so curious. And then, have us think about what that is. But we'll save that for next time.
Well, I suppose I shall hand over the diamond to the player who is not here. There you go. I'll give thee the diamond.
Okay.
Well, doesn't look like there's anything else in this cave.
Yes, an unfortunate dead end, it seems.
Another one. I hope they're not all like this.
Well, I'm fine with dead ends as long as we don't end up dead, so...
Does anyone
I guess
know
we
where
can
the
keep,
entrance to the Citadel would be?
I have no idea.
I mean, I would assume since it's above the scab, right? It's like kind of set on top of this mountain thing. I would assume it's like up instead of down, but I don't know.
Do you know how large the Citadel is?
Yeah, it could be that the scab has grown over the Citadel and the entrance is actually at the bottom.
True.
I assumed we were in, yes, some sort of grounds of the Citadel already, but maybe, yes, there's some sort of inner chamber or fortress perhaps to be found, and like Francis says, at the most central location, which I assume is the bottom here, it would make sense. Maybe we should choose one of the tunnels heading downwards.
Do the
We
wasps.
may just have to face up to the buzzing.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There's also the way just this way, pointing out of the tunnel that we haven't gone either. But if we want to go to the buzzing,
Let's go the way we haven't gone yet first.
Okay.
all right. We'll go this way.
Okay.
Well, this is looking a bit more ass again.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of situate some of you guys over here, so it makes it a little bit easier to maneuver. As you kind of head down this this direction here, Trescott, leading the way. Do you try to do so quietly, or are you just kind of making?
I mean,
your
I'm a
way
beacon
down?
of glowing
You
light
are a
here.
beacon of glowing light.
It's hard to move quietly, but I mean, if everyone else will.
It's up to you. You're the one currently leading.
I mean, I am also in like a butthole, so maybe I should stop. I did roll a 13.
Hey,
As a
not
stealthy
bad.
check.
As you move forward, still a beacon of light. At least you're a little bit quieter this time.
Thank goodness.
And I think you would get to about here, where you start to note a bit of an opening in the area, proceeding forward until the edge of your vision can see something ahead of you. The group, yeah, a waterfall. Yeah, something like that. Blood streams down from a gaping wound in the ceiling, filling a large pool that covers the floor of this chamber. A hunk of scab floats in the blood.
I guess it must just be, when you have a scab and you pick it off, it's probably something like that, I guess.
What picked the scab, though?
It looks like a pretty big wound. I don't really want to find out.
Maybe it's best we don't find out. I feel this is getting sidetracked. We haven't made any progress deeper into this citadel. There's no, visible way out the back, is there? Beyond this scab.
With your current vision radius, right, you probably would have to get a little bit closer to see if there's anything that goes past. Right now, you're kind of just sitting at the entrance.
I mean, I'd go in and have a look. I'd have a walk forward at least.
Okay, yeah. And it looks like it is...
How far can I see? 60 feet?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It looks like you can see the back edge of this particular chamber.
Before you go, Hugo, is there a rock or something we could throw into that pool just to see if the creature suddenly lunges out of it? Because maybe that's what ripped.
Do we want to cause the creature to lunge out at us?
Well, I'd rather.
I mean, we can, but
I'd rather we do it before if we went to try and cross the pool.
well, I can see the back edge, and it looks like a solid wall, unless there is a passageway under the blood, as it were.
Oh.
I will take out one of my many ball bearings and say, I can chuck this.
Go for it. See what
Alright.
happens.
Do you want me to chuck it at
It's ended
the
so well in the
surface
last
or
game,
at-
I thought.
or at the scab thing?
I just meant sort of in that pool that it's floating in.
All right. Sure. I'll take out both, and I'll throw one into water, and the other into the scab.
They both go splashing into the blood. Nothing seems to really happen.
Well, I didn't.
Hugo,
Seems-
in your studies, did you learn how to let us walk on water? Oh, wait a
That's
minute.
a very specific question. No, I'm afraid I don't have that on me right now. When you can fly, you don't really need to walk on water.
I forgot I can walk on water. I can walk along liquid surfaces.
You can.
Monks,
Of
man.
course you can.
I don't. but Hugo said this is a dead end, so why don't we go back to the...
I'll just gesture toward... I mean, there may be something under the blood. I don't know, but I can see the back wall of this particular...
Let's just go back and pick the lower of the buzzing route, right? That seems to be the best option.
Sounds like a plan.
So I think we're backtracking again, Joel.
Okay. As you turn to leave the room here,
Oh God.
leaping out at Hugo and Trescott being at the front here are two creatures as they become visible here.
Oh, I know
What
these
the
guys.
frick, man? Like barb gas or something?
They are called Balguras.
That was
They are ape-like in nature, but with giant tusk-like teeth and claws at the end of their great fists as they leap forward and land down, attempting to bite at both Trescott and Hugo. With advantage against Hugo, it is a 14 for the first bite, and advantage against Trescott is a 23 here.
I would like to use my reaction
Mhm.
and my Atlas of Endless Horizons to teleport 10 feet away, and I don't take the attack
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, the attack as it chomps down to try and get at you here. It is unable to do so. And, yeah. Go ahead
Well,
and
that
roll
was-
me some initiative.
Awfully rude.
What the blue blazes are they?
They were just sitting in here. Haven't they got anything better to do?
They reach out telepathically to you so you can understand what they're... Tired of waiting! Time to eat!
I get it.
I can't believe they didn't fall for the barbarians, though.
Trescott, that did hit you, correct?
Sure did.
Okay, for 13 piercing damage.
Ow.
Francis V, Hugo, Cyrus, Trescott, and Mooncolor. Okay. At the top of the turn order is Francis as you see these creatures come leaping down at your friends.
I will Agonizing Blast, the one that just hurt Trescott.
Absolutely.
So that's 27
Definitely hits.
for 7 force damage, and
Yep.
the second attack is 14.
The 14 here will just miss as it bounces off the beefy chest of the Balgura.
Beefy.
thick
Then
boys.
I'll just... pardon me, Mooncolor, I'll just go behind you, if that's alright. And I'll end my turn.
All right. And he goes, that's fine with me. And he goes charging ahead once again here, trying to drive its horn into one of the Balguras. Damn, dude, he's killing it. That's a natural 20 for the horn. It'll deal an extra 48 worth of damage. 27 for 30 total points, and following it up with the hooves here. We'll see if the Balgura is able to keep its footing. As an 8, it does not, and lies prone on the ground.
Nice.
Damn, Mooncolor is out here to kill. It's a
mean,
25
it's
for another
skipped right
9 points for 39 total points of damage. Okay. V.
V will... I mean, I assume there is enough space, so she will just...
Yes.
Go there and... I guess she'll go for the prone one. With the lightning launcher. So, first attack's 20.
Yep.
For 10
Yep.
lightning damage. And second attack's 23.
Yep.
For 7 lightning damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Dealing 17 total points of damage here. The creature looks incredibly injured very quickly.
And then that ends your turn.
Hugo, narrowly avoiding the bite here. What would you like to do?
This one on the floor, how injured is he looking?
Really bad.
Okay,
Getting
I'm
like
gonna take
consistently stomped on by Mooncolor.
Yeah. I'm gonna take 10 steps?
10
feet
steps.
of movement back even.
10 tiny steps.
And I'm just gonna magic missile the incredibly wounded one.
Sure.
I'll just do it at first level. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, that is a 2, a 5, and a 4 for 11 points. of force.
11? It is... It's still up, but barely.
Well, He's tougher than he looks. Okay. I suppose, yeah, I'm just gonna back up next to Francis and end my turn.
Yeah, this Baldur is going to get up and with its dying action, essentially, recklessly going to punch out and bite here. It makes 1 bite attack and is going to make 2 punching attacks here. And dear Lord, it is only ever going to be able to hit 1 as it chomps down onto Mooncolor's neck at a 17 for 14 total piercing damage. The punching here, unable to find the mark against V.
As you do.
Mooncolor is now bleeding profusely its silver unicorn blood. Cyrus, what would you like to do?
I am going to use my action, because that's a bonus action, right? Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to use my action to utilize my healing hands on Mooncolor.
Okay.
So it regains 9 hit points, which is not a ton, but you know, it's something. And then as my bonus action, I'm going to, let's see, do I want to use that bonus action here, or do I want to? Yeah, I think what I want to do here is also use my bonus action here to put Shield of Faith onto Mooncolor.
Okay,
so
sure.
You get a +2 bonus.
You start concentrating on a Shield of Faith on Mooncolor's form.
Yes.
All right.
And then I will back up with the other tower.
Okay. The other Baldur here is going to make multiple attacks against Trescott. Trescott is going to be 3 total attacks here, recklessly, as it punches and tries to bite you here. It'll be a 20, a natural 20, and a 23 for the 3
they
attacks.
all hit.
Okay. It is going to be the first 2 are the punches here for 22 total points of bludgeoning damage, and the bite as it finds the mark on your torso for 9 piercing. It'll be 31 total points of damage.
Oh, can I use my reaction to hellishly rebuke?
Yeah, absolutely. Now,
Burn
Hellish
that spell
Rebuke,
slot.
I believe, has a save
Dex
component.
Saving throw.
Rolls an 18 on the save.
That is a save. Yeah,
he'll take the
takes
half.
of. Press the wrong button. Actually, I can press. Why didn't it work? Why didn't it go? All right, I'll just roll 2d10s.
Okay.
Half of 19.
Ooh, wow, almost
Wow.
max. Nice. Okay.
That is fire damage. If that
For
matters.
9 total points fire damage. Okay, you note that your Hellish Rebuke seems to do a little bit less than you wanted it to here.
I figured it would.
Okay.
But happy I almost max rolled that.
Yeah. It is your turn, however, directly afterwards. You know that it has attacked recklessly, leaving it wide open to counterattack.
Can't wait to counterattack the crap out of this guy. Here we go. So it's advantage, right?
With advantage, yes.
That's a 27.
Definitely hits.
And I will burn another spell slotty. 1 more left of those. First level. And press the button. Do some damage. Wow, that's really bad damage. 17.
Okay, for 17 here.
And then I will swing again. Do I get advantage on all attacks?
Yes.
24. Just regular attack. That is 15.
For 15. Okay. 17.
And,
15. Oh, I did. He hit you 3 times, right?
He sure did.
Okay, add 9 more points of damage to that due to your
thank you.
aura of hate.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So 17, 50, so 32 total points of damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Trescott can't do much else.
And he looks very injured at this point. You've definitely done a good amount of damage to him here. Yeah. Anything else?
I set him up, Francis. Knock him down.
All right, Francis.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll just try and blast the reckless fella.
They both have attacked recklessly. One of them looks to be
okay.
at death's door. The other
All
one
right, I
here.
will go for death's door fella.
Okay,
then.
with advantage.
Oops, sorry. 22.
The 22 does hit.
That's 5 force damage, and then
Which
the
will
second
be
attack.
enough to kill the first one here as the agonizing blast hits him in the face.
All right, and I'll attack the other one for 26.
Does hit.
For 10 force
for
damage.
10 more force damage, and you realize here that, yes, this one is barely hanging on as well, as it rages onwards, trying to find a
Over
meal.
to you, Mooncolor.
And Mooncolor, tossing his majestic mane, will hit for 10 points of piercing damage and follow it up with the hooves at another natural 20 for 17, as he hits him with the horn and tramples over his body, crushing the Balgura beneath it.
Get Shrek on?
They both die.
Well, I wonder if there's a diamond on these as well.
Would be nice.
You rummage through their fur, and all you find are fleas.
Yes,
Devilish
exactly.
fleas.
Devilish fleas, which are amplified
Mooncolor.
by the
For the Aura of Hate.
aura of hate.
Damn it. Mooncolor, are you okay? I saw you take quite a bit of damage there.
Yes, I am all right, though I believe I need to utilize some of my. Well, unfortunately, I cannot utilize my magical abilities for myself and only for others.
I might be able to help you with that.
Okay.
I will. If you do me, if I do you, I'll give him 30 points to lay on hands.
Are you sure?
Oh, is my lay on hands necrotic now? That can't be right.
This is the first time you are going to be attempting to heal a celestial creature
A celestial creature as an oathbreaker?
as
That
an
sounds like a terrible
oathbreaker
idea.
paladin.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. That's a terrible idea.
It's up to you, right? This is Trescott's brain taking these things into account.
I mean, Trescott wants to help. That's the problem.
We in the party are aware that Trescott gives off an evil aura, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm a spooky dude.
it is quite obvious.
Okay.
It's like standing next to a lesser form of Archon.
Okay. Based
Lesser.
on and you can tell me I'm dumb and wrong. But based on my religion and medicine and the fact that I have some connection to Celestials, I'm gonna go ahead and tell Trescott I don't think that you are the best person to heal our friend here. I don't know. But things might go awry.
I definitely don't want to hurt the unicorn. If you think that's going to be the case, I just don't want him to fall either.
I mean, maybe I will just do it, Trescott, to save the worry. So I will attempt to cast Cure Wounds at level 2. And I just have vanilla Cure Wounds drawn.
Absolutely.
I assume.
Mhm.
So that's 17 total.
Nice. So a good amount of power there. And Mooncolor, where he was, profusely bleeding from the neck here, it seems to have, healed over the wounds, and there's just stains of his silver blood along his coat now.
Trescott try to lay on hands 1 point to himself to see what happens.
Yeah, you do so, and you recover yourself 1 point of health. You note that the lay on hands here, it has a darker, shadowy cast to it as you call upon your abilities.
This requires more testing. Francis, come here for a second.
All right.
Oh, also 1 point. Francis.
Francis recovers 1 hit point of health.
Interesting.
I also am curious. You want to try one point on me?
Sure, Mr. Celestial Man.
Yeah.
I'm Asmar.
So celestial,
Celestial
Yeah,
Man.
half celestial. You touch him for 1 point. That little shadowy bit of energy emanates out and infuses Cyrus, and Cyrus recovers 1 hit point.
This is so weird. I don't like how ominous
I think
this
I can
is.
see a pattern here.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mooncaller, if you need more healing, I can try. Small doses, obviously, at first. Or I can just use it on myself. Either or. If you can't do it to yourself,
Oh, I feel much repaired at this point, thanks to Francis's efforts.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna burn 40 points to heal myself.
Wow,
Damn.
it took that much? I did not know that.
I had 20 of my 82 health left.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's so good.
And I have 2 points of lay on hands just in case. Okay, cool. Trustcut gains a leg again. And so dead end again, I guess, unless we want to go swimming.
Yes, I think we should double back and head down one of the potentially buzzing passageways.
Feels like all these dead ends just have fights and enemies in them, so it might be best just to stay clear of the dead ends.
How do we know it's a dead? You know,
We
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if it's dead end until we go there.
let's just keep moving.
Five
Drag you
intelligence
guys
checks.
back to the crossroads that you were previously at. As you
Right, so
make your
the-
way back there.
I think we should go down here to our east, and I'll gesture towards this. Oh god, it's so laggy. I'll gesture towards this one.
No, all right.
An old adage of mine: if all else fails, go left.
That would be to the
It's
right,
not.
but
Well, no, actually, we walked in from the right, so it would be where we're going, right?
I don't think
Sure,
it doesn't,
sure,
it doesn't matter.
sure.
Let's just keep going.
Trescott, you are still in front? Is that the
Sure
case?
am.
Okay. There is a bit of a tight squeeze through here. Mooncolor would be able to kind of wriggle their way through. That being said, I'm going to kind of just like stack you all up here and drag a little bit further down to this spot here. As you can kind of see that it precipitously drops off down here. As it continues to go deeper. The buzzing has gotten stronger, but you can hear it more. Instead of like down this direction, you note that the sound is coming from down over here in this southwesterly direction.
Well, let's just avoid that way, eh?
I think that's a wonderful suggestion. Can we go? So we can go southeast.
You can.
Let's go southeast.
Okay. As you
Gonna
kind of
pretend I
make your
don't see
way...
that enemy icon.
Yeah, as you kind of make your way down here, the buzzing is much more intense. And towards your west here, Hugo, you can kind of you see a little bit over in that area. And what you see is these, well, not the larger insectide bugs that you've seen previously, but hordes of hellish flies buzzing around a dark chamber. And you see what looks to be mutilated, devilish corpses there.
Squash it
Let's
down.
keep going, perhaps.
Push
Yes.
it down.
Okay. I'm going to move the group down to this position here. So hold on tight, everyone, as we kind of get down towards this area. There is a bit of a junction here where it gets tight again, and Mooncolor looks a little bit nervous about making their way through. Additionally, I would love perception checks from the group.
I rolled a 4.
Take away from
Francis. And
11.
so 19 from Francis and V.
Okay. Francis and V here. You hear sounds ahead. You hear what sounds to be scraping, snarling, and gnawing ahead of you. And it's quite a bit.
I'm hearing. I don't know. I guess it could be a creature, or maybe some sort of infernal butcher.
Infernal Butcher, that's a...
Yes, maybe something like that.
Sound
At least.
good.
From that direction, but I really don't want to go down the hellish fly passage. I would take whatever's down there over the flies.
Yes, I think I agree.
Okay. Hopefully we can get our four-legged friend through.
I will do my best, but it may be a bit of a squeeze. Perhaps you all should go before me in case I get stuck.
What if
Very well.
we have... I was going to say Trescott, but what if we have V go last? And that way, if Mooncolor gets stuck, V could maybe help to push?
I suppose, yeah.
She can use her shoes to get past if needed, I guess.
Yes, I suppose so. We
All
can
right, everybody but
certainly
V, I guess.
go with her in the back. All right, I'll start making my way through it.
Okay.
Aim.
Yeah,
Oh,
as you
fuck, I
start
regret
to
everything.
make your way through the area here, you see the following. 10 small snarling demons covered in matted gray fur claw and bite a hole into the hard, scabby floor. A demon made of shadow flies over the fiends,
Oh, we have one of
screaming
you.
at them in abyssal. And then it looks up at you, Hugo. It looks up, and I'm gonna need everyone to roll me initiative.
Good God.
This is real Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, we are
Dungeons
in
and
the
Dungeons.
dungeons.
God, why do I keep rolling twos
My
for initiative?
so bad. I can't roll over a 10 ever. Good. 3 nat 1s on our initiative.
We're all dead.
We're all
Look at me,
He's
though.
like, oh, I'm
Are we any closer, or did Hugo just run off in front of everybody?
I assume people will follow.
I can't actually see the battle map, so I don't know what we're against yet.
We have had so many nat ones.
My
It's a
question
bad
is,
day.
is how close was anyone to Hugo?
Man, I think we're all going through at the same pace.
I mean, I wasn't going off on my own. I assume people would be coming behind. me,
Sure.
so.
Okay.
Everybody and then V at the end.
All right.
That looks about right.
Okay. Let me get this a bit situated. As these little guys here.
This is going to go swimmingly, I can already
Kevin
tell.
McLeod was definitely playing Final Fantasy when he made this. song.
Yes.
I
absolutely.
always
So
think it's
good.
Final Fantasy music, and it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not. It's Kevin McLeod, Connie. You just said.
What's that, Craig?
Don't worry about it.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up, Craig?
What?
I hate Connor so much.
All right.
Infinite counter.
At the top, Francis.
Joel, so what can I move freely between everyone? What's the deal
If you'd
here?
like to, yes. I think the space here is enough for like you guys to pass through if you squeeze past your friends. So it will be a bit tougher to get through this little choke point here.
I guess I just want to move to the point where I can see the shadowy fella.
Sure. I think you can go up here pretty easily or stand
Alright.
next to Cyrus easily, but as soon as you're in this spot where Trescott and Hugo are, it's getting tight.
All right.
It's hard
I
to
will
be
I
there.
will stand there and I will use Ralothib's psychic lads.
Okay.
So the target must make a intelligence saving throw. I'm targeting the shadow demon.
That is a 21.
Oh, Joel. But he succeeds. So he only takes half damage, and he's not
Okay.
incapacitated. So he will take 12 damage.
Ooh, that was a
12
good roll,
psychic
too.
damage.
Okay. 12
Um,
psychic damage.
and then Francis shall back up a little, and end his turn.
Okay. V.
Now, can V move past
Again,
Mooncolor's fat ass?
Yes, there's enough space up here again to move freely up to this point. And then it is like difficult terrain to move past your two friends here in the choke point.
Okay.
Technically not my turn, but I know stuff is happening. I'm just gonna be like, I think that we should not go through the choke point, and we should force them to go through the choke point. Is my suggestion?
Already in the choke point, though.
We can back up.
Okay.
That's what you think.
What is V doing?
V is going to cast, as their bonus action, how the heck do I say this?
Shardalon's stride? Yeah.
Stride, yeah. So she gains 20 feet extra movement speed. Shit, wait, no.
Yeah.
I cast that after I get past everyone. After I get past everyone.
Yeah.
Joel, after I get past everyone.
Yeah.
Don't at me.
Okay. So after you get past everyone, which is, that's 20 feet to here, right? And then that is going to be 30 feet. That's 40 feet. Out is 50 feet of movement.
All right, I can't do it then. I can't do it. I'm sorry, V. I tried to make your character cool, but they're just
Wow. Wow.
In which case, I will hypnotic pattern, if I can, centered here.
Yeah.
In a 30-foot cube. So it's wisdom saving throw from all of them.
30-foot cube?
Yeah, so the center of it being here, Joel. So.
Okay, so 15. So right on the edge.
So, yeah. Don't try any funny business with me, mate.
Okay. Let's see. Wisdom saving throws.
And the DC is 17.
The Shadow Demon fails, and the 4 dretches. Only one succeeds. This one here is the only one not stunned by it.
Great job, V.
And that'll end V's turn.
Okay. Mooncolor cannot get through while there are people in the choke point, and so will sit there. The Shadow Demon is stunned for the moment, incapacitated. That dretch is okay. So this one is going to come running up towards Hugo and is going to make some attacks here. One with the bite, one with the claws, and that'll be a 15 on the first and a 17 on the second.
It will.
I believe both
Sorry, I
those
just have
hit.
to restart my roll 20 because it's just absolutely shit the bed. No, I'm saying I will reaction cast shield.
Okay, yep, and both of these will splash off the shield here as he tries to claw into you.
20s.
2, 5, 10,
Okay.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Another one comes running up this direction. Same thing with this one, and they start packing the area, trying to clamber over each other to get closer to the action. Okay. And that is... Yep, Cyrus.
I'm going to once again suggest to everyone that we don't act like the damn Persians, and instead we act like the I know they lost Chuck. And we
But
Also
held
does
the
not
choke
exist in this world, so
I know,
suggesting
I'm
any
just
of this...
Also,
no,
they
I just-
held the choke point. They didn't leave the choke point, so it's wrong on many levels, really.
What is your action?
I'm going to back up and
Okay.
ready in action to blast demons.
Why would you
Wait,
not just blast the demons right now?
Am I able to
Yeah.
go through my friends?
I'm sure. I'm going to say there's enough space for you to fire around them. There's just, it's a difficult terrain to move through them.
Okay, I'll
In the choke
to
point.
the frontmost Vargas. Blah blah blah, and I'll use my. I got so much key. I can't wait to die without any.
That was a lot of steps.
Step of the wind 4 times in a row.
It's a dredge. Yeah, my mouse cursor was like just above Radiant Soul, or Radiant Sunbolt, so me dumb.
Okay, 4
That's awful.
sunbolts go slamming across here. Fortunately for you, all 4 of these are going to hit 14, 12, 27, and 11. As these creatures, you look at them, they're not wearing armor. They're just, flesh. And they're going to take 9, 6, 8, and 7. 30 points of radiant damage as it blasts through this creature, which is more than enough to kill it.
Awesome. I'm a little bit more confident now.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do here, movement or otherwise?
I'll stay put.
Trescott.
I believe in my friends.
Cyrus was more confident. He runs into the fray.
Yeah.
Oh no, why?
Well, 4 of them are stunned here, so they can't really
That's
do
true.
anything.
I am going to attack the one due south of me.
Sure. Roll.
Attack.
Hits out of 20.
17.
He's barely holding on to life.
I'm gonna swing again. 27.
Absolutely hits. Dead.
Dead.
16
Great.
points of damage as you hack through this creature.
And that's it for me.
Hugo.
We throw a fireball at this back point on the wall so it only hits all of them.
Like down here somewhere.
Actually, just in that alcove there where it kind of dips a bit. I think that's the next square, right? So.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
it hits Trescott, who cares?
It doesn't anyway.
So
it's
like
24.
at the wall, you throw a fireball into
Yes.
the mess here.
Dex saving throw from all of them.
The ones that are stunned obviously cannot dex save.
Yeah.
The dretches choose to fail because it doesn't matter. They are immune to fire damage, and they just eat
Fuck
the fire
you,
there.
Dretches.
The
You
Shadow
silly
Demon will
bugger,
auto
Hugo.
fail here. So what is the damage on the fire?
29 points of fire damage.
As the fire eats through the shadow here, you realize that he seems to be a little bit resistant to that ability, but
Wonderful.
it does indeed wake him up.
Fantastic. Fuck you, Avernus. I will just take one step back and then my turn.
Okay. So at half, it'll be 15. Okay. Cool. Francis.
Did you forget where we are, Hugo?
They just don't look particularly fiery, so I didn't expect them to be immune to fire damage.
Fair
And I'm
enough.
fairly sure they're not, but that's another issue.
Oh, you know what? They are. It's resistant, not immune. So it would. Sorry, I just read the wrong
That's
one.
alright. No, that's fine. There's a lot of resistance.
These all fail, so it is still 15. It will wake up all of these guys. And they will still be alive, if but barely.
Singed. Nice.
Yeah, so they will be pretty substantially singed. My bad on misreading the line.
No, that's okay. I think they are immune to something. Psychic, maybe? Because they got no brain.
Poison.
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 Okay.
The other two will also fail and become rather singed as well with their resistance here. Okay, Francis.
I'm just going to Agonizing Blast the Dratch in front of Trescott to start with.
Sure.
So it's just a 13.
13 will hit.
That's 7 force
7
damage.
is enough with the combination of the fireball explosion in the area.
And then I'll go for the shadowy one with my next one. That's 22.
22 does indeed hit as he is shaken awake by the explosion and fire. He will take
13.
nice 13
Good
total
damage.
points of force damage here. Okay.
So that ends Francis' turn.
All right.
And then V will. So with her full movement, that's where she can get to. Is that okay? Or you said difficult terrain? We should move a wee bit back.
All right. So that's 5. And then that is going to be 15, 25, 30. 35 is here.
Curses. Oh wait, V does have a speed of 35. Oh, I
So
didn't
you'd be
realize.
on top of this guy's corpse just outside of the choke point.
Oh right, okay. In which case, V will use the lightning launcher at range.
Okay.
So is it just
It's the same.
sorry?
We
it's
have
just,
homebrewed this thing to just be the same.
Okay. So 23.
23 against the Shadow Demon
Yes.
does
So-
hit. The lightning lances through the shadowy form here and seems to deal no damage.
Oh. In which case, V will use her second attack just to hit one of the. I guess I'll say the bottom left of the 3.
Sure.
Dretch.
13 does indeed hit as this one is shaken awake by the fireball
He takes 8.
and he will die.
Ah. That ends V's turn.
Unfortunately, again, Mooncolor cannot move through this here. The Shadow Demon will. Yeah, okay. So entering its area here, I think it's going to run away.
Out.
Because if it enters the bright light here that Trescott holds, it does not do well. It's out of here. It's going to take the dash action and leave.
one of the more sensible combatants, really.
Yeah.
The other, gosh, there's so many dretches. These three here see their leader running away and are going to do the same. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet. As one retreats down this passageway, the other two follow. 10, 25, follow down past where their leader left on the southeastern route. Cyrus, is there anything that you'd like to do here?
I would ask, I guess, like, are we planning on following them?
Oh, well.
We're going this
Going
way.
deeper in.
All right. Oh wait, my speed's halved anyway. I don't know.
Speed is halved.
So I'm able to get to
So that's 10,
there.
20.
And then you already have half speed anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's as far as you can go with your movement. What else would you like to do?
I cannot target any of these people. I could
You could
use
dash.
an action to dash. Sure, I will use my dash.
Okay, so it'll be another 10 feet out, and then you have regular movement, which is still halved. So you'll have another 10 feet. Okay, that is action and movement. What else?
That is it.
Okay, Trescott, what would you like to do?
Yeah, following Cyrus
Okay,
this way.
you have normal movement from here. Where are you going? All right, 30 total feet there, and you can kind of see one at the edge of your light radius.
Can't really do much. So I'll just,
No javelins or anything?
oh, I do have a light crossbow.
You do.
Pull that out. Shoot him with that.
Okay.
Where did it go? Did I not get it? I had it on my old character sheet. I have crossbow
Sorry.
bolts.
There's a lot of spear.
Dear
Yep,
Lord.
all right, I'll add it. Does look like it is missing.
Sorry, don't use ranged very often.
Okay. It is there.
You mind pressing it for me? Because I don't see it on the character.
A
Thank you.
13 will still hit.
Lead.
Or, unfortunately, this is outside the Aura of Hate, but it will deal
Aura.
3 piercing damage, which for these creatures is enough to kill this guy.
Sweet.
Because he is already
He's
really
out of
hurt.
nowhere.
Yep. Okay, Hugo.
Awesome.
Yeah. I will.
20 feet of movement to move through.
Yeah, I'll move through. Oops. I mean, there's not really that much offensive action to be taken here from me, I don't think. Yeah, I'll hold my turn for now, honestly.
Okay, Francis.
Ready.
I guess, yeah, I would come through and say, I can't bloody see a thing. Where did they go?
I think they ran off.
Well, I guess we dealt with them then.
V.
V will hold their action to fire a lightning launcher if a demon appears.
Okay. Our friend Mooncolor is going to start trying to move through the area. With that, this will give enough time for the demons to run a full way away and out of particular danger for them. With that, combat comes to a close for this particular area.
Well, I got the one down this hallway, but I don't see the rest of them. And another Y in the road.
Another Y in the road. A decision to be made for our next meeting, I believe. As we are descending in Avernus down
Literally.
the bloody
Really?
scab.
Took us 39 episodes, but we did it.
We are finally there. Thank you so much for joining me today. Those of you at home, thank you guys for making the time today to
I don't
to
like the
make this
scam,
recording.
Joel. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Claustrophobic, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's
Bit
pretty
weird.
gross. It's a bit weird. It's gonna get weirder. Can't wait for it.
Oh, cut.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing, and until next time. Bye.
Bye.